Oh, man. What a cold, very, very cold Saturday evening we got going on here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm yours truly, your favorite YouTube content creator, IWWin. And I'm, hold on, give me a second. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm IWWin. And I got some WWE and AEW Saturday evening news for you. For your Saturday, October the 1st, 2022, Saturday evening. So, I got your WWE AEW Saturday night news. That includes news on Randy Orton, Shotzi Blackheart, Max Dupri, Logan Paul, Sami Zayn, Wyndham Rotunda, known as Bray Wyatt. That's that clown Booker T. Bayley, Saraya, and Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is our topic of discussion tonight. So, anyways, guys, if you're just now tuning in and you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn on that bell for all notifications. Let's get some likes on the stream. Let's get some likes on the stream minimum. I really appreciate it. You guys can follow me on Facebook, Instagram. You can have me on Snapchat as well. And you can also subscribe to my second YouTube channel. I just uploaded my first gaming YouTube intro for my second YouTube channel, videos and live streams. So please be sure you go subscribe to my second channel. I would really appreciate it. Not only show your support for my second channel, but show your support for this one as well. So, you guys ready to hear some AEW and WWE news tonight? These are some huge ones. Some very, very huge news. So, we're going to start at the top. We are actually going to start off with the news on Randy Orton. So, I don't know if you guys know, but apparently Randy Orton is actually, what is it that I want to say? What am I trying to say? Okay, so there's news on Randy Orton. He is actually getting an A&E documentary. So Randy Orton went from punting legends to becoming a legend of the business himself. The multi-time world champion is getting an A&E biography as part of the network's deal with WWE. Now, PW Insider reported that the two parties are working on a Randy Orton project for their WWE biography series, A&E. Plan to drop the latest WWE biography series in January 2023. January happens to be my birthday. January 25th is my birthday. Happens to be my 24th birthday. I'm 23. So it says here, and I quote, A&E is currently in production on a Randy Orton episode for their WWE biography series. PWInsider.com can confirm. The cable network is planning another round of biography episodes to air this January 2023, although rather the Orton episode will be done in time for that run. We cannot currently confirm, end quote. As previously reported, there is major concern in WWE over Randy Orton's back injury. I'm pretty sure I went over the news on that yesterday. Now, the Raw superstar has been out of action for a long time. it might not wrestle for the entirety of the ongoing year. That doesn't sound good at all. Now, Randy Orton took an injury break from WWE after getting brutally assaulted by the Bloodline during the May 20th, 2022 edition of Smackdown. Orton and Matt Riddle lost WWE Tag Team title unification match to the Usos that night. So, what is y'all's actual take on this story? Let me know. Listen, I understand today is a boring Saturday, but we need some more audience in here, man. It is dead in the chat. And I hate a dead chat. I really do. I really do. For real. Now, we're going to go ahead and move on to the news on Shotzi Blackheart. So, apparently, Shotzi Blackheart finally actually got her tank back on SmackDown. You know, I was live with the Smackdown and Rampage watch-along until I got off of it and deleted it because I was pissed off because I was late for SmackDown. I was live late for SmackDown, so. And then my dog, because my dog was sick, and plus I was mad at the owner of my job for a number of reasons. So. You can imagine how I was feeling. And you can imagine how I'm feeling after the morning that my dog passed away. By the way, she died of a stroke. My dog did. So, it's pretty sad to say, but it's true. But anyways, there's the news on Shotzi Blackheart. We are going to go over here. If anybody is still in the live chat. So it says here that Shotzi Blackheart used to ride a tank as part of entrance in Triple H's vision of NXT. Vince McMahon took that away from her after she moved to the main roster. Last night, she got her old entrance back. Shotzi Blackheart brought back her tank for her entrance on SmackDown last night. The WWE star rode her tank all the way to the ring before her match with Bayley on the show, which, in my opinion, was probably more than likely the only best match on SmackDown. That's as close as you can get. That's as close as an answer you can get from me. So, Shotzi took to her Instagram story. She took to her Instagram stories and posted a picture of a tank, hinting that she might be getting her ride back, which she finally did last night, which I'm glad. Good. You know, I think that tank was meant to carry the legacy of her father. I think that's why she drives that tank all the time to the ring. Her father, who recently passed away, you know, my father passed away in March too, so I can understand what Shotzi's going through. Something me and Shotzi got in common. Both of our fathers gone. Sad. It's really, really sad, man. It's really, really sad when you have to live without a father, man. Really. You guys just don't know how bad and sad and how awful it is to live without a father. It'd be even more awful living without a mother or a grandmother. Just the thought of that, man. I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine being on my own with my parents alive and stuff. I don't know. Unless I had a girlfriend, which I'm still currently looking for anyway. But anyways, as previously noted, WWE used Aaliyah's injury to turn Shotzi Blackheart into a babyface during SmackDown last week. Shotzi saved Raquel. Woo! Smiling Raquel. And turned babyface. Now she has her tank back. This further proves that Triple H knows how to book her. So what is y'all's take on this story? Great story, man. Great story. I'm glad she got her tank back. And hopefully she gets the top babyface push that she absolutely deserves. Because she was not used well as a babyface on the main roster. She really wasn't. Not even as a heel. She wasn't used well on the main roster. All right, moving on to some news on Max Dupri. I know nobody's in here. I don't care. I really don't care. I go live my watch-alongs and reviews for everybody. I go live with my watch-alongs and reviews for people who want to hear, for people who want to listen, for people who actually care about my YouTube channel, for people who actually think for once that, hey, IWN's YouTube channel is actually important. I'm going to go check it out. I'm going to go listen. That's why I'm live for my watch-alongs and reviews. Especially, and even for people who miss Smackdown, Raw, NXT, Dynamite, or Rampage. I go live with my reviews for people like that as well. So, but anyways, Max Dupri finally quits his own Maximum Male Models faction during Smackdown. So, Triple H took over WWE's creative division in July and made drastic changes to improve the product. The game restored the gimmicks of many superstars who used to work in his vision, who used to work in his version of NXT. Legitimately, many superstars who used to work in his version of NXT, man. One such star might have just got his name or his identity back. That one star that got his NXT identity back happens to be Max Dupri, known as LA Knight. Max told the group they couldn't challenge for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships, but wasted their time with their terrible, god-awful, silly pose challenge. Nobody was interested in that whatsoever. That made people say, channel changing. Especially when you see garbage like that on television. He told them he could no longer move forward with the group. Dupri has been teasing the return of his former gimmick for quite some time. He finally left the Maximum Male Models to become a solo star tonight on SmackDown. I think he's going to become a solo ad in that mid-card. I think we need to start seeing Gunther versus LA Knight for that Intercontinental Championship. I think that's where WWE needs to go. I would love to see LA Knight versus Gunther, man. That'd be a great match. No question about it. LA Knight versus Roman Reigns would be great. You know, or a LA Knight versus Ricochet, or a LA Knight versus let's see, Sami Zayn, LA Knight versus Kevin Owens. You got a lot of dream matches coming out of LA Knight there. So it's good that Triple H has LA Knight in WWE right now, because that's where he should be. Perfect place for him. He's going to get the push that he absolutely deserves very, very soon. And I hope it's a good one, too, and not a complete failure one. So, we'll have to wait for LA Knight to finally show up in all his glory on the blue brand. Everybody in the chat, give me a hell yeah, man. Seriously. So, I think LA Knight's going to do some wonderful things on SmackDown as far as my take on this story goes. I really think he is going to be either the next Universal or the next Intercontinental Championship in the future. Whenever he gets built right or used right on TV. Whenever we start seeing more of him every week, I feel like. This is great. It's great to have LA Knight on the main roster, man. He's going to do some good things, man. And I bet you Triple H and WWE Creative already have plans in place for LA Knight once he goes back to his LA Knight NXT character gimmick. There's star potential written all over LA Knight, man. LA Knight ain't done yet. He may look old, but he ain't done. He ain't done. He still got some years left. Might have some years left on his contract. Probably 4 years left on his contract. Probably, more than likely. So there's some news on Roman Reigns and Logan Paul face-off and more announced and booked for Friday Night Smackdown. Next Friday night. Logan Paul impressed fans and critics alike with Super B performance at WrestleMania SummerSlam. The Maverick shocked everyone by issuing a challenge for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. The challenger and the champion will come face-to-face next week on SmackDown. Yes, I said it, folks. So, WWE announced that both Roman Reigns and Logan Paul will be inside the DCU Center in Worcester, Massachusetts for the SmackDown season premiere next week. Oh, also, I just want to make an announcement that my Sunday night news live stream will be live tomorrow night. So that means I'll be live giving you guys your WWE and AEW Sunday night news coming into the week, to the new week. So be sure you be in the chat for that. It's going to be great. Now that I got that off of my chest, the Maverick was on SmackDown a couple of weeks ago for a segment with Paul Heyman and the Bloodline, plus Sheamus and Gunther will collide for the Reigning Generals Intercontinental Championship next week on the Blue Brand. I sound really good this time, man. I'm okay, guys. I only smoke like 1 cigar, so. Now, if I'm smoking 3-4 cigars, I sound like I'm freaking drizzling or sleepy or something. I don't want to sound like that. Nah. No thanks. No thanks. I'll pass. The two had a 5-star match at Clash at the Castles in Cardiff, Wales, on September the 3rd. That was a really, really good. That was one of the best pay-per-views that WWE's ever produced. Now, it wasn't the greatest, but it was the best. Good pay-per-view, man. I loved it. I was live for it as well. Now, I didn't have much people in the live chat either, which that didn't make me any happier. The King of Bangers is excited for his rematch as well. That's a good character gimmick name. King of Bangers. Holy shit, man. My God, Triple H is doing some good things as head of creative and talent relations, man. Makes me want to say JD right all over again. That's what it makes me want to say. So, the card for next week's SmackDown, we got Gunther defending his Intercontinental Championship against Sheamus. This is Gunther versus Sheamus Intercontinental Championship match number 2. We have Ricochet versus Solo Sikoa, Roman Reigns, and Logan Paul segment. That is what's slated for next week's episode of SmackDown. And I will have SmackDown scheduled hopefully by tonight. I'm going to be giving you guys the news quicker than a cheetah can run. That's how quick I am going to be on this stream. That is how legitimately quick and fast I'm going to be on this fucking stream, man. All right, guys, moving on to the news on the unfortunate, sad passing of Antonio Inoki's. So, yes, the pro wrestling world reacted to the unfortunate, sad passing of Antonio Inoki. It was a sad article to read. About made me cry, to be honest, for real. You know, too many people passing away. And it's just, when somebody's passing away, it makes you feel some certain way, man. It really does. Sometimes. In some ways, it does. Some ways, of shape and form, it does, man. So, Antonio Inoki was a giant in the world of professional wrestling. Didn't know that. Inoki revolutionized the Toru Risu by putting New Japan Pro Wrestling on the map in the early 70s. I wasn't even around by then. The wrestling legend passed away in his home. So, my sources, Ringside News, they don't have the confirmed cause of death as of yet. But the wrestling world was shocked to learn about Inoki's demise. Fans and wrestlers alike took to Twitter to pay tribute to one of Japan's biggest showmen and crowd pullers. WWE paid their respects to the deceased during tonight's broadcast of Smackdown from Canada. Impact Wrestling. I'm sorry, Tony Inoki. I had to laugh at that. I had to laugh at what I just said. Oh man, Impact. Anybody? Who cares about Impact? I'll tell you who cares about Impact. Nobody. Nobody. Not even JB. Nobody cares about Impact. Nobody. I don't even care about Impact. I don't even watch it no more. The only time I'm gonna say this, and I mean it with heart, passion, and truth. The only time Impact was great was when Bobby Lashley, Kurt Angle, Jeff Hardy, Sting, and Samoa Joe were there. That's the only time Impact was great. They're all gone. Samoa Joe's in AEW. Sting's in AEW. Kurt Angle retired. Jeff Hardy have not came back to AEW yet. I think he's fighting his charges, I believe. I don't even think his trial date hasn't started yet. Matter of fact, I think his trial date starts this month. Holy shit. I didn't even freaking... Man, see how smart I am? I just now said that Jeff Hardy's trial date is this month. His trial is. Man, I wonder how Matt Hardy's going to feel about this. I don't know. Wow, man. Days go by so fast, it's not even funny. But the fact that I said Impact, you know how many people they got watching Impact? 0. Oh man, Impact sucks. Nobody's watching it, and nobody will continue to watch it until Impact gets shut down. The mechanics are gonna have that freaking that yellow truck thing. They're gonna freaking mess up the building. There won't be no Impact Wrestling building anymore. It's gonna be all gone.
Let me tell you something. Wait.
Let me tell you something, man. I'm telling you, Impact is complete garbage. Oh, the geeks and the the freaking those geeks and those nimrods in the community, they're gonna realize it sooner or later, rather than later, man. Seriously. Just the thought of Impact Wrestling being on their article, the word Impact. Like anybody doesn't know what that is. I mean, we ain't stupid, man. Come on, bro. Impact Wrestling honored Inoki's larger-than-life career as well. Impact. Impact. What? Impact. What is Impact? A shitty wrestling, terrible promotion that nobody watches on XTV. That garbage off my television. Inoki was trained by legendary pro wrestler. He was trained by a legendary pro wrestler. I don't know what his name is. I don't even think I know how to pronounce his freaking name. But anyways, that legendary wrestler made his debut alongside fellow legend Giant Bubba in the 60s. The two went their separate ways, but retained respect for each other. Inoki was involved in a massive crossover fight with boxing legend and civil rights icon Muhammad Ali. This bout transpired in Tokyo, Japan on June the 26th, 1976. I was not born at that time. I wasn't even around. The sanctioned bout ended in a draw. So these are all the tweets from the CEO, from the president of AEW, and from Impact. Impact. Impact, man. Oh my goodness. Why do they gotta add the word Impact? Ringside News, why you gotta add the word Impact to your freaking article, man? I don't want to see that word in your article again, man. You know how terrible Impact is, right? Come on, man. What the heck is wrong with you guys? So, there's some news on Sami Zayn that we're going to go over. And my thoughts go out to Antonio and Inoki's family. I know they are going through some hard times right now. Just like we are. Because we lost our pet dog this morning. And she died of a stroke. Tell you one thing, I love that dog so much. She was a sweet dog, nice as she can be. That's all I can tell y'all. But Sami Zayn was called top performer in the world. In other words, top performer in the wrestling industry. So Sami Zayn is a top performer in the entire wrestling industry right now, but he is the top. Is he the top? With a memorable match at WrestleMania against Johnny Knoxville being a major part of the Bloodline stable in the role of the honorary Uce for the past few months. He has been on a major role, on a major hit with the fans, man. A WWE legend can agree with that statement. Shane Helms, known as Hurricane. Shane Helms was a guest on the latest edition of the After the Bell podcast, which is something I really don't watch. That's something some of these fake podcasters watch. These some of these fake wrestling sources in community. Where he and host Corey Graves discussed Zayn. Helms called Sami the top performer in the industry right now. He says here, and I quote, Sami Zayn is right now. I have no problem saying this. Sami is the top performer in the industry. That's how good Sami is. It's daunting. Sometimes Sami has a reputation, you know. He'll drive you bananas. But the end result is always a home run or grand slam. I thought they were referring to AEW when they said grand slam. Holy shit. Guess not. Maybe not. His WrestleMania match with Johnny Knoxville, he said, was finally a grand slam. Then Shane Helms went on to say he was the perfect guy for that. His personality and Johnny's, they were so compatible to each other, using all the members of all the Jackass crew and all of the gadgets. It all came together like so crazy and just got a lot of creativity from everybody involved. It was just a massive team effort. End quote. That's what Shane Helms said about Sami Zayn. So Helms said he pinched the giant mousetrap ending spot in Sami Zayn's match with Johnny Knoxville at WrestleMania 38. It was too good to not be missed. This is what Shane Helms, this is the other thing Shane Helms went on to say. He said, and I quote, the human mousetrap was actually my idea. Me and Knoxville were hanging out in Miami at a bar. Notice he said bar, folks. How many of you hang at bars? I don't do all that shit. I don't do that. And I don't know exactly what set it up, but I was like, yeah, we should just get a giant mousetrap and catch Sami with it. We were looking at each other, and he got on his phone right away and was like, I'm getting it done. That's what he said. End quote. So, 2022 has been a bit of a breakout year for Sami Zayn on WWE's main roster. Who knows what will happen with him in the Bloodline in the near future? Well, I already know what's going to happen. They're going to turn on Sami Zayn, and then we're going to get Sami Zayn and Owens versus the Usos for the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championships. That's what we're going to get, and I think we should get it for WrestleMania, in my honest opinion. That'd be a great caliber match. That's a WrestleMania caliber tag team match right there. It should be for WrestleMania. I really do think it should, in my honest opinion. Now, do you guys think Sami Zayn is the best overall performer today? Let me know in the live chats. Please, I would really appreciate it. Hassan, how are you doing? I hope you are here monitoring the chat and listening to the news I have, because it seems like you missed half of it already, because you weren't here. So, there is some news on Bray Wyatt. Yes, folks, there's actually some news on Bray Wyatt, legitimately. So, Ronda Rousey's Fiend character was criticized for making other WWE male superstars look really bad. When I look at this, I'm thinking they're calling him fat when they say that. And if they are, in a way, in my honest opinion, I don't think it's right, and I don't think it's nice to be calling people that. It's rude. It's rude. It's rude, man. Bray Wyatt has the best creative minds in WWE. He is good at mind games. He's good at what he does in the ring. And he has the greatest character gimmick in all of WWE. I mean, how can he be criticized for making other people look bad? Oh, because he made Goldberg look worse? Well, actually, Goldberg made Bray Wyatt look worse at Super Showdown. Son, I did not. You were there. You were here. Seth Rollins' time in promotions such as Ring of Honor certainly helped him improve himself prior to making his way to WWE. So Rollins has worked hard to become one of the mainstays of the company as well. He also criticized Bray Wyatt's character recently. All right, now listen up, folks. This news on Bray Wyatt is very important to me. Bray Wyatt's Fiend character was one of the most creative gimmicks in the history of WWE. I just said that. I said Bray Wyatt's character gimmick is one of the greatest gimmicks in all of WWE. I just freaking said that like 2 minutes ago, dude. Derek, this article is talking my language, man. Seriously. Jeez, look how smart IWN is. I wonder how smart he's going to be going into 2023 with some new content. Guess you guys have to find out. So unfortunately, WWE was never quite able to utilize it to the extent it should have been used. While speaking with Ariel Helwani of BT Sports, Seth Rollins criticized the Fiend and stated that the character never made his opponents look any better. No wonder why JD said he wanted the Year of Worlds back. Oh my goodness, look at that. Oh man. You love to see it. It says here, and I quote, the Bray Wyatt character was just difficult. If you look at anybody that worked with the Bray Wyatt character for an extended period of time, Seth Rollins goes on to say they didn't come out of it better than they went in. It was very difficult to have a story with him where, aside from Randy, he's referring to Randy Orton, yes he is, it was difficult for anyone. I think maybe Daniel Bryan might have escaped a little unscathed, but I mean everyone else pretty much met a dive in for their character. I mean that was the end for the Seth Rollins character as you knew it, the Beast Slayer character, you know. It was tough figuring out how to tell a good wrestling story with that character. I was not good at the phenomenology stuff. I wasn't able to interwave that with reality enough to make what I feel or what I felt was a captivating story. End quote. That's what he said. So we'll have to wait and see whether Bray Wyatt really is returning soon. Obviously he is. But it's probably gonna be likely a future feud with Rollins. Like I said in the description, either they're gonna have Rollins align himself with Bray Wyatt. Triple H, WWE Creative is gonna come up with a Bray Wyatt, Seth Rollins storyline, or we could get a Bray Wyatt versus Seth Rollins match again down the line in the future. There are many possibilities there. They could have a babyface Bray Wyatt feud with a heel Seth Rollins. We haven't seen that. We've seen babyface Seth Rollins feud with heel Bray Wyatt. We haven't seen babyface Bray Wyatt feud with heel Seth Rollins. They could do that. They can go with that storyline, you know? They can make something out of that. So, we'll have to wait and see, man, what happens going into 2023. I could see something like that happening. I could see them bringing back that story again and doing it right. Vince and Bruce didn't do it right. They didn't even book the Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt match right for that pay-per-view that they had their match in. I don't remember what it was. I know it was some kind of pay-per-view Seth Rollins and the Fiend actually had their match in. But anyways, let me know, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on this story. I really appreciate it. There's some news on Gunther that I want to go over with you guys. I don't understand why Gunther is not being booked matches on TV, but yet he's being booked matches when Smackdown goes off the air. This is the second week in a row he's been having matches off air. Why is he having matches off the air when he should be having matches on air? What's going on? I don't get it. I don't understand that. So apparently Gunther put his Intercontinental Championship on the line against Nakamura after SmackDown went off the air. So Gunther had an amazing run in NXT UK as he became the longest reigning champion in modern WWE by holding the NXT UK title for a record of 870 days. That's a whole lot. I could have sworn I said that a few days ago on one of my reviews or live streams. Anyways, he dropped the title to Ilja Dragunov at NXT TakeOver 36. Yep, I've said this before too. Gunther finally made his way to the U.S. as part of the NXT roster as well. Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser made their main roster debut on Friday Night SmackDown earlier this year. Gunther also won the Intercontinental Championship back in June. After this week's WWE SmackDown went off the air, Gunther put his title on the line against two-time Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura. They had a solid encounter, but Gunther would end up winning when all was said and done. Nakamura then hit a Kinshasa after the match to send the fans home happy. WWE recently announced that Gunther's Imperium faction will battle the Brawling Brutes in a Donnie Broke match at Extreme Rules on October the 8th. Yes, my WWE Extreme Rules 2022 live stream watch along is already scheduled, guys. So if you would please click on my Extreme Rules watch along, give it a thumbs up. I appreciate it. And please comment in the live chat. Let me know that you're going to be there. I'm expecting probably a bunch of people to be in the live chat for that. I hope. Let's hope that. Let's hope there'll be a bunch of people in the live chat for NXT Halloween Havoc watch along too. Because I got that scheduled on the channel as well. Soon as I get done going over to the AEW news as soon as the stream ends, that's when I'm going to go ahead and get started on scheduling Smackdown, because I already know the matches and I already know what's slated for Smackdown, so I might as well get started with the thumbnail and background after this. And then I'm going to work on the AEW Dark and Elevation thumbnails for this week. Even though the Dark and Elevation episodes have been pretty awful for the last 2 weeks. But last week was great. Last week's Dark and Elevation was great, man. Better than the last 2 Dark and Elevation episodes we got last month. But, anyways, again, folks, Gunther's Imperium faction will battle the Brawling Brutes in a Donny Brooke match at Extreme Rules on October 8th. So I guess we'll have to see how the match will turn out to be. It's going to turn out to be a classic. It's going to be an instant classic. In my opinion, it's going to be old school. You know, Walter is all about European wrestling. Same with Tyler Bates. Same with Pete Dunne. Same with Trent Seven. All those guys in the UK. All about UK and European wrestling, man. All those guys without the knee pads have that strong style, man. You know what I mean? So, anyways, we are going to move on. There's some news on Rhea Ripley, guys, that I want to go over. I don't want to skip that. I want you guys to know that. This is for the Rhea Ripley stains and fans. So the Rhea Ripley stains and fans better be in the live chat listening. So there's news on Rhea Ripley. She opened up about getting her hands pretty dirty in World Wrestling Entertainment. So Rhea Ripley worked hard to establish herself as one of the top stars in WWE's women's division. Go ahead and change this music because it's annoying. So she found success in both NXT and the main roster so far. The former Raw Women's Champion has gone through several changes over the years. She is currently part of the Judgment Day stable. Fans are happy about her booking. Rhea Ripley is currently gone through a transformation over the past year. While speaking with Sport Bible Australia, the Eradicator talked about her transformation in the past couple of years and added that she likes getting her hands dirty. So this is what Rhea Ripley said, and I quote, "I feel like this is a different side of me compared to the Rhea Ripley from a year ago. It's just different personas and emotions inside of me that get to come out. I'm being very cheeky on TV these days and getting my hands dirty, and it's been a lot of fun," end quote. I like the way Rhea Ripley just said all that because she really has been pretty cheeky lately on TV. I like the way she's being honest about herself. Other wrestlers need to start being honest about themselves as well, because some of them are not. Some of them do. Some of them are honest about themselves. Some of them ain't. Rhea Ripley's doing great with her character now, man. She's doing better than what she did when she lost that NXT Championship to Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. Oh my God, that was a complete disaster. She was buried right there and then. Buried and wasted when she lost to Charlotte Flair. So, Rhea Ripley is currently feuding with Rey Mysterio and Edge as part of Judgment Day. And I think Rhea Ripley might be slated to join Bayley's team for War Games, for Survivor Series. I'm not sure. I'm just throwing it out there, though. It might. She might. I don't know. There was news on that. I saw the news article on that. I didn't even go over that. I don't know why, but Rhea Ripley could possibly be joining Bayley's team for the Survivor Series against Shotzi Blackheart, Raquel Rodriguez, who else? Asuka, Alexa Bliss, and Bianca Belair. I can't see Aaliyah adding herself to the match. I wonder if Candice LeRae's going to add herself to the match. I wonder if it's going to be a 6-on-6 women's War Games match. If Candice LeRae adds herself to it. I don't know. Let's see. I don't think it makes sense to have a 6-on-6. You should have a 5-on-5 for Survivor Series. Always have a 5-on-5. That's the way it's always been. 5-on-5 men's match, men's tag team match, 5-on-5 women's tag team match. It's the way it should be. So there's news on Bayley. So apparently Bayley said her body and immune system were still catching up to her wild WWE schedule. Now Bayley is finally one of the most established female wrestlers in all of WWE. Indeed, she is. She is great at what she does in the ring. Her character gimmick is awesome. I love it. I'm a huge fan of Bayley. I love what she's doing. Been a huge fan of Bayley since her NXT days. Now, she is a record-breaking SmackDown Women's Champion and can be both a babyface and a heel with effortless ease. Same with Kevin Owens. She reminds me of Kevin Owens. I swear she does. For real. Kevin Owens can do the babyface and heel character gimmick work too. It's not often you have people like that that's good with both babyface and heel. The role model was away for well over a year after suffering an ACL injury while training at the WWE Performance Center. She finally returned during WWE SummerSlam alongside Dakota Kai and Io Sky. They are known as Damage Control. We got the sage! We got the hay! We got the hay! I don't know what they be saying in that song. Speaking on the 5 Count podcast, Bayley talked about adjusting to WWE's current hectic schedule. Bayley admitted that her body is still catching up to the schedule. Oh, really? Well, we're about to find out because it says here, and I quote from Bayley, this is what she said. It says here that, and I quote, "It has been pretty hard, to be honest," Bayley admitted. "It's been a lot of fun, and I've been doing things that I've never done before. And it's been an honor being on all the shows, just running wild on all the shows, but my body is so confused. I was home for a year rehabbing, and now it's like, oh, wait, you still do this? Do you still wrestle? Do you still travel like a mad woman?" All those questions she had, man. So Bayley went on to say, "So now that my body and my immune system is catching up to the travel schedule again, I'll be all right. WWE lifestyle is so wild, but I've been having such a great time." End quote. Bayley will challenge Baszler for the Raw Women's title at WWE Extreme Rules. I could see Bayley picking up the victory over Baszler to become the new Raw Women's Champion. We need a new Raw Women's Champion immediately. That title needs to be taken off of Bianca Belair immediately. Her run as Raw Women's Champion has not been that good. I'm sorry. I just gotta admit that right now. I don't care what the Stains and all these geeks and all these virgins have to say in the community. Her run as Raw Women's Champion has not been that successful. I bet even her husband Montez Ford could say that. It's time for a new champion. I think Bayley should be the new WWE Women's Champion. It makes sense since Dakota Kai and Io Sky are the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. It only makes sense for Bayley to beat Belair. Wait. I'm going to get it right this time. It only makes sense since Io Sky and Dakota Kai defeated Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah to become the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. It only makes sense for Bayley. If they can do it, then Bayley can do it. If they can be champions, then Bayley can be a champion. Dakota Kai and Io Sky defeated Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah to become the Women's Tag Team Champions. Bayley can beat Bianca Belair to become the new Raw Women's Champion. And then the Damage Control faction will have almost all the women's titles. All Bayley needs to do is win the Smackdown Women's Championship, and she'll have both. She'll be done unified both the Raw and SmackDown Women's Tag Team or women's titles. At this point, I think the right decision would be unified the Raw and SmackDown Women's Tag Team, or not Tag Team. I keep saying Tag Team. God damn it! It happens, man. I'm not the only YouTube content creator that doesn't get my shit right sometimes. But it only makes sense for Bayley to win the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships to unify both titles. Since Roman Reigns is the undisputed Universal and WWE Championship, it only makes sense for Bayley to be the undisputed Women's Champion. See what I'm saying? See that? See what I did there, man? If Bayley can be the Raw Women's Champion, then Bayley can be the SmackDown Women's Champion too. That will unify both titles. You could unify both titles into one and come up with a name. Name them the WWE Undisputed Women's Championship or Champion. WWE Undisputed Women's Champion. You can call Bayley the WWE Undisputed Women's Champion when she unifies both the Raw and SmackDown Women's titles. That sounds great. Sounds great to me. Question is, will Bayley be able to win the SmackDown Women's Championship by the end of this year? Will they put both titles on Bayley, or will they just have the Raw Women's Championship on Bayley? Which one is it going to be? Well, given that Ronda Rousey is a heel, I don't see the SmackDown Women's title being put on Bayley at this point. Because if you got the Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey feud going after the Extreme Rules, it wouldn't make sense to put the SmackDown Women's Championship on Bayley at that point, right? So you might as well have Bayley as the Raw Women's Champion and have Ronda Rousey as the SmackDown Women's Champion. And then you can have Shayna Baszler beat Ronda Rousey at the next pay-per-view or at WrestleMania. I think that match should be for WrestleMania. That's a WrestleMania caliber match right there. Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey. That makes sense, though. I mean, I'm speaking truth. I know I sound like JD a little bit, but I mean, he is one of my main inspirations. He is the greatest in the IWC, the only greatest, my only favorite podcast. Forget all these other podcasts. JD's the better one. JD's the better podcast. He's the better Cold War player, too. I hope he starts back streaming Cold War sometime, man. Yeah, I love watching his live streams, man. He is so hilarious. He makes me laugh, dude. He really does. Makes everybody laugh. Everybody that's a fan of him laugh. He's a huge inspiration to me and others. And if he's not a huge inspiration to you, then something might be wrong with your brain, or something might be wrong, mentally wrong with you. You really don't think that he is inspiring people like you, then we got a problem. We got a problem. We legitimately got a problem, man. I don't know why you would not be inspired by JD and what he does on his podcast. I don't know why. That's the geeks right there. Geeks that be getting all over JD, shitting on his podcast and stuff. Ridiculous. And the more people shit on his podcast, the more people he puts on blast. I can't wait to see him put more people on blast. Because there's more people that's still coming at him in the community. It's not fair when you're the greatest, and then yet you got people coming at you, man. It's not right. It's disrespectful, man. It's like, dang, get the man his space. Let the man do and say what he has to say. Do what he has to do on his podcast. Let the man succeed. I mean, he's already succeeded, but still. Beyond that. You know? That's just like when I was watching Tino's Time watch along last month. Some bot came in his chat and was spamming, and he had to delete him. And then I was live at the same time. Some bot came in my chat spamming. I told my moderators, I said, get him out! Get him out. You know what they did? They got him out. Exactly what happened. So anyways, that ladder match will be after this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. So let's see who will prevail in the match. In my honest opinion, it should be Bayley. It only makes sense. I mean, Bianca Belair's title run has not been all that good. It needs to go on Bayley. It is time. It is time. Bayley has come back up to this point. She was built up to this point. It's time for Bayley to be the new Raw Women's Champion again. Either she's going to be a 2-time or a 3-time Raw Women's Champion. I don't care. It needs to go on somebody that's going to carry that women's division, somebody that's going to defend that title, somebody that's going to be a fighting champion. It's going to be a fighting champion as a heel. And I think Bayley is going to do that. She did that on SmackDown. What makes you think she could do it on Raw? So what is y'all's take on this story? Let me know. This is must see, folks. I'm telling you. This AEW Sunday Night News live stream is a must see. You haven't been watching because I got more news. I got some more AEW news, and I got some more thoughts on some of this news I'm about to give out. Now, I'm just getting started, man. I ain't even finished yet. Now we got news on that. That clown, you know who I'm talking about. Somebody that JD doesn't like, somebody that JD despises, somebody I despise too. I'm not a fan of Booker T. His takes and his opinions are garbage. Same with Bully Rays. There's some news on Booker T. Oh man, I never thought we'd get to this point. I never thought we'd legitimately get to there. There's also some news on Liv Morgan. We're going to go over that first. So, it says here that the Liv Morgan stains and fans better be listening for this one, because this is going to be the last month that she will ever be SmackDown Women's Champion, because she is dropping that title to Ronda Rousey at Extreme Rules, whether you like it or not. She's dropping. It's time. It's time, man. I mean, who else does she have to feud with on SmackDown? She has nobody else. Nobody else. Maybe turn Liv Morgan heel. We could get Shotzi Blackheart feuding with a heel Liv Morgan. But how good will Liv Morgan be as a heel? I don't know. I kind of doubt that. I kind of doubt that idea. For some reason. I don't think that'd be the right creative idea, though. I don't know. It's just something about that. Something fishy about that, man. I don't know. There's something fishy about that. There's something funny about that, too. Something ain't right about it. Something wouldn't be right about that if they turn her heel. It wouldn't be right. It wouldn't make sense. Creatively. So, Liv Morgan won the Money in the Bank match. And then cashed it in on Ronda Rousey on the same night after becoming the SmackDown Women's Champion. Things have been going in a certain direction for Morgan. Former Wyatt Squad member retained her title against Ronda Rousey. Yes, I said it. Ronda Rousey. At SummerSlam in a very controversial manner. Since then, she has been getting mixed reactions from on this week's SmackDown. Morgan made her way to the ring. God, I'm in a good mood today. I'm in a good mood tonight, man. I'm on fire, man. I'm killing it on this freaking live stream, dude. Holy shit. You go IWN. Goodness gracious. I never felt this freaking good tonight. There's not many days where I feel good when I'm in a good mood. Trust me. There's most days where I'm in a bad mood. Something bad always happens around the neighborhood. Or somebody's always spewing crap, saying negative things about me on social media or on their YouTube channels. Calling out my name, saying, "Oh, IWN is a BS wannabe," or IWN is a freaking idiot. As of right now, I haven't gotten any negative comments. That's a good thing. That right there is telling me that I'm doing something right. And that guy that commented wrestling's fake in my chat a few months back, the one I told Hassan about, well, he is no longer on YouTube. He is gone. YouTube got rid of him. I got an email from YouTube saying that they got rid of that guy. Woo! Thank you, YouTube, for paying attention to the live chat. They got rid of that guy. That guy is not coming back to my chat anymore. That curving geek, man, with the Miami profile, YouTube profile picture. With him and his freaking 4 subscribers. Get the heck on with your 4 subscribers, man. You suck. Really. You suck trying to freaking create 4 accounts just to spam my chat and say wrestling's fake. Give me a break. Wrestling is real and scripted. I know more about wrestling than you do. You freaking useless, negative, whining head troll. So, they fought over a baseball bat and brawled again. So after which they were broken up by security. I never seen that side of Liv Morgan before. That's the first time I ever seen the side of Liv Morgan like that. I mean, that was great by Liv Morgan. While speaking in a WWE digital exclusive, Liv Morgan stated that she is counting down the days until Extreme Rules. She better be. Because now she's dropping that title to Ronda Rousey. I mean, I don't know how I keep gonna bring somebody like that down, man. I mean, Liv Morgan can't even get her babyface character right. She can't even cut good promos in the ring. I mean, don't get me wrong, she does great with that Oblivion, but her promos, kind of gotta improve. You know, beautiful woman, good looking woman, I will say that. Anybody would want her. Even I would want her. And I think she's still dating Bo Dallas, by the way. I can't wait. That is the thing. I literally cannot wait. She says, and I quote, she went on to say, I am counting down the days until Extreme Rules. I heard what Ronda Rousey said, and she is the most dangerous, unarmed woman on the planet. I thought she was going to say baddest. The fuck? She wondered what she could do with a bat. Well, I wondered that too. So I brought her one. And what did she do? She walked away. She still doesn't respect me, but at Extreme Rules, she will. End quote. Yeah, right. She's gonna whoop your, you know what? She's still Ronda Rousey though. Even though she's gonna become the new SmackDown Women's Champion again. Liv Morgan will defend the SmackDown Women's title against Ronda Rousey at the upcoming Extreme Rules Premium live event on October the 8th. So we'll have to see how she bars in the match, basically. Liv Morgan is holding the bat. She's got that Jade Cargill character. No, I'm just joking. She's got that Core Jade character. That's what she got. I know Jade Cargill. Core Jade. That's that kind of character she got. I wonder if they're going to give her that heel Core Jade character, man. When she loses to Ronda Rousey. I doubt not. She'll probably be kept in Titus Catering for a while until they start using her again. What's y'all's take on Liv Morgan's title reign? Same with Bianca Belair. Gonna say the same thing about Liv Morgan. Her title reign, not that good. Not that good. I wouldn't say the same thing about Nikita Lyons if she was SmackDown Women's Champion. I wouldn't say the same thing about Valerie if she was SmackDown Women's Champion. Trust me, I know more than what I'm saying here. Legitimately. So that's that. The next news we're gonna go over is now on that clown Booker T. God, I don't even know why I'm even bothered. I don't even know why I'm even bothered going over this news. Why? Why do I need to freaking go over news on somebody that always has the worst takes and opinions in the entire world on his podcast? And that person I'm referring to is Booker T. Oh, please, I better not see an article about Bully Ray, or I'm going to say the same thing. Bully Ray and his terrible trash takes. See, notice I'm not cussing. Don't worry, guys. I read the advisor-friendly guidelines. I'm taking the advisor-friendly guidelines with a grain of salt. I'm taking it very, very seriously. I'm taking it under my wing. Trying to be as professional as I can be. I'm trying to be the best YouTube content creator as I can be. I'm trying to give you guys content that you really want to see. You know, reviews and watch-alongs that you really want to see, that you really want to hear, that you really want to invest your time in watching. You know, you can tell I'm trying. Anyhow, there is some news on Booker T. Yeah, I mean, it's not really news, but it's kind of news. I mean, nobody gives a crap about Booker T. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, he is one of the greatest Hall of Famers of all time, but his takes and opinions are absolutely straight up awful. Straight up trash. The clown himself, Booker T, is back at it again, claiming that Sasha Banks and Naomi should have done their jobs instead of walking out. Yet you can't even do your job right with your opinions and takes on your podcast, and you go on to say that Sasha Banks and Naomi's couldn't do their jobs right? Give me a break. Sasha Banks and Naomi did their job perfectly. They did the right thing walking out of John Laurinaitis' office. Divas! Laurinaitis! People power! You really think anybody wants a guy like that? The head of talent relations? Heck to the no. Come on. What's wrong with you people? What is wrong with people like Booker T, man? Is he on steroids or something, man? I mean, I gotta question that, man, for real. Sasha Banks and Naomi have been the subject of a lot of discussions for months now. This is due to them walking out in the middle of Raw back in May. Even Michael Cole had something negative to say about Sasha Banks and Naomi. Everybody was mad because Sasha Banks and Naomi did the right thing. But you know the one person that wasn't mad? The one person that wasn't mad that's currently in charge, that's currently the head of talent relations and head of creative, the person that's going to be the future chairman of WWE next year. The one person that was not mad about it, the one person that was happy, that had a smile on his face, was none other than Paul Levesque. Now, Booker T recently discussed about Banks and Naomi's WWE exit. When Triple H has a smile on his face seeing Sasha Banks and Naomi's walking out, you know he was going to bring them back. You know he's going to bring them back. Oh, they're coming back soon. I wouldn't be surprised if they make their returns after Extreme Rules, man. There's rumors and news about them making their returns after Extreme Rules, man. We'll see. Heck, they may even make their returns before WrestleMania. Never say never. Coming out of WWE, man. So, in the most recent episode of the Hall of Fame with Booker T, I call it the Hall of Lame. Oh, man. Dude, I am on it, man. I can't contain it, man. I can't control myself, man. I am on it tonight, man. Seriously. If I would have been like this with my other WWE and AEW news live streams, man, I probably would have got a ton of views. Just based on everything I say on here. Based on the overall flow of the live stream, based on the background music, just based on the thumbnails in the backgrounds alone, just based on me and what I'm doing and what I'm producing, uploading, and streaming on the channel, you know. But seriously, folks, we gotta go back to that because the way I said it was funny, legitimately. You're gonna be laughing even more because I'm about to play a freaking instant button that's about to make you laugh. Seriously, no shit. So, seriously, folks, in the most recent episode of Hall of Lame, Booker T can go take his podcast and go take a straight L. Because this crap was freaking lame. This crap was freaking lame. Everything he said was lame. You're not gonna believe what he said, folks. So on the episode of Hall of Fame with Booker T and Brad Gilmore podcast, should I say their lame podcast? Huh. That's exactly what their podcast is. Lame. Booker T probably doesn't even have no aim either. And guess what? It's funny I said aim because Booker T doesn't even know Bruce Wayne. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't even defeat Kane in the Attitude Era. Yeah, break. You serious? Booker T was among those who wanted to see Naomi and Sasha return. He was unsure if they would return because of the manner they departed WWE. Sure freaking thing, man. It says here, and I quote, I think Riley was one that was hoping to see Sasha as well as Naomi come back. I thought both of those guys were leaving the way they did. Are you serious? Dude, he just... I'm done, man. This guy is a freaking loser, man. What a freaking coward Booker T is, man. He just called Sasha Banks and Naomi guys. They're ladies. They're women, not guys. What the heck? Man, Booker T is more of a prick than I thought. Jeez Louise, JD right again, man. Oh my goodness. IWN right again too. Now, he goes on to say, I thought both of those guys were leaving the way they did. I was wondering if they were going to come back. They weren't going to come back until Bruce is fired, and until Vince is removed from his active duties as chairman, and until John Laurinaitis is gone and fired. There's only one person that hasn't got fired yet, and that person's name is that fat sloth, Bruce Pritchard. The sloth YouTube, I said. I didn't cuss. Well, I kind of did, but yeah, I'm working. I want to get my I didn't like the way clearly Naomi and are not hell Booker T. So I remember you asking how would I have done it, and I said I would have done it, the job. That's the lamest thing I've ever heard, man. He said I have done it, and I said I would have done it, the job. Jesus Christ, look. Booker T is such an embarrassment, man. I swear, it's not even funny. And then he goes on to say, I have left because That's one thing that the business. Okay, so you said you would have left, but yet you said Naomi and Sasha Banks should have done the job instead of walking out. Something's wrong with Booker T, dude. He needs to get some help, man. I'm serious. He needs to get some emergency help or something, man. He doesn't know what the heck. He doesn't know what the heck he's talking about. Oh! Get him out! There's something wrong with Booker T, bro. Never mind me. There's something wrong with Booker T, man. He needs to stop. He needs to cancel his YouTube. He needs to delete his YouTube channel right now. This shit sucks. He needs to delete his channel, dude. Seriously. And then you want to talk about me saying Impact. Booker T just said, dude, Booker T just said something that made no sense whatsoever. He just said the lamest thing on the podcast, dude. Oh my goodness. I'm glad I didn't article on the website, dude. Holy crap, dude. Wow. Oh my goodness, man. Wow. I have done it. I said I would have done the job. Then I would have left because that's one thing that the business is just not myself. I've heard other wrestlers, the veteran wrestlers that have been around that have said the same exact thing. Oh, really? Veteran wrestlers like who? Who? John Cena? Batista? Roman Reigns? Well, I mean, who? Veteran wrestlers like who? I didn't hear Raven say it. Didn't hear Hulk Hogan say it. Never heard Kevin Nash say it. Never heard Razor Ramon say it. Who? What veterans are you talking about? We don't have a freaking clue what you're talking about, man. That's why I say, Booker T, take your L and get the off out. Get the fuck out. Seriously. They said they would have done the job. And then Booker T goes on to say, then left because it's like tradition. I think losing that tradition factor in the business, man, that right there is where the rubber meet the road as far as the situation. And that's where you, Booker T, are going to be meeting me by the garbage can. I'm going to pick you up and throw you in the trash can. Because your opinions and takes suck. As far as the situation went, as far as whether we were going to work it out or not, because it was a little bit different than the tradition of the way wrestling has always been dealt. End quote. Oh man, this reminds me of Bully Ray. Oh, he is just as bad as Ryan Satin, man. Oh my God. Speaking of Ryan Satin, by the way, folks, just to remind you, when I had Twitter at the time, Ryan Satin blocked me on Twitter. Probably because he knew I was a member of OTS. Who cares, man? Forget Ryan Satin, man. Nobody cares about Ryan Satin and his little trashy Fox podcast. So Booker T also discussed if WWE should still do old style 4-on-4 Survivor Series matches. A 4-on-4 match. I think it may be something of the past. What the heck is he talking about? Guys picking their teams. You have to understand. I'm not a big team guy. Who cares? I'm not a big partners guy, of course. I've been in a tag team and we did pretty well, but I'm not about having my wrestlers, if I don't have to, have anything to do with each other, ever, other than a faction. That's what Booker T said, y'all, not me. You want to talk about sad worst takes? Yeah. All that I basically just read came from Booker T. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Immediately, effective immediately in hell. Oh, man. You want to talk about terrible comments and opinions like that. Oh, my goodness. Banks and Naomi seemingly confirmed that WWE exit after changing their social media. Fans were under that belief. They were under the belief that both of them were actually really done with the company. Clearly, they're not. Clearly, they'll be back soon. They should be back. In fact, they should be back either after Extreme Rules or before WrestleMania. So, some believe they were even going to AEW, which is not the case. They've already been talking to Triple H, clearly. Triple H has already had discussions on bringing Banks and Naomi back. So, you geeks in the community can take your answers back and throw them straight rolling out the park because they're not going to AEW. They believe, I can't believe, these geeks in the community believe that Sasha Banks and Naomi were going to AEW and got excited about it. Clearly, the truth. They don't know the truth. And the truth is that Sasha Banks and Naomi are going back to WWE. They're not going to AEW. Why the heck would they go? Why the heck would they go to the AEW? The women's division on AEW is at the absolute worst state right now. Even with Saraya on it, the women's division is not going to change. It's going to take more than Saraya to make that women's division complete, to make that women's division better than what it should have already been. Jesus Christ! So you want to talk about these geeks saying Sasha Banks and Naomi are going to AEW? No, sorry, they're not going to AEW. Paul Levesque, when he saw those comments, I'm sure on Twitter from those geeks, he said, nah, we ain't having that. Sasha Banks and Naomi are not going over there with Tony Khan. Nah. I'm not about to let Tony Khan book them like complete jack crap. I'm not about to let Tony Khan book them like a bunch of punk losers. Nah. Paul Levesque is not going to let Tony Khan sign Sasha Banks and Naomi and have him use them like a bunch of jobbers on AEW Dark and Elevation, and even on Dynamite or Rampage. Heck no. Nah. Not happening. Sorry. Sasha Banks and Naomi are going to WWE. You AEW geeks. So, I guess we'll have to see what will become of them. I think they should come back to WWE and turn heel and align themselves with Bayley. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, Sasha Banks and Bayley are best friends. I mean, they're the ones that carried the Women's Revolution. They were only there, in my opinion, in my eyes, they were the only two that carried the Women's Revolution, man, in WWE. And then we could get Sasha Banks, Bayley, Naomi, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky versus Raquel Rodriguez, Shotzi Blackheart, Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss in a 5-on-5 women's match for War Games. It makes sense. It's great. Talk about long-term booking. Talk about great booking, man. I would love to see that. It makes sense, man. Book it. Legitimately. Raquel Rodriguez, Shotzi Blackheart, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, and Bianca Belair versus Bayley. Damage Control. Sasha Banks and Naomi. Book it. 5-on-5 women's Survivor Series match right there. Book it, man. With Io Sky and Dakota Kai in that, 5-on-5 women's tag team match, you know it's going to be a heck of a banger. As far as the men's match go, we could in fact see all members of the Bloodline go up against Ricochet, Madcap Moss, Drew McIntyre. Do not add Braun Strowman to that match. No, we don't want Braun Strowman in there. No. No thanks. I'll pass. They should have all the members of the Bloodline versus Madcap Moss, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre. Who else? I'm trying to think who else. I'm thinking. Let me think for a second, guys. I'm trying to see who else on SmackDown had a history with them. Oh, you should add Brock Lesnar to that Survivor Series team. Well, no, we don't need Brock Lesnar. No. We've seen enough of Brock Lesnar. Never mind. On that thought. No. Oh, you know what? Since the Brawling Brutes had challenged the Usos for the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Champions, we should get Madcap Moss, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Pete Dunne, and Rich Holland versus the Bloodline. That sounds great. Man. That'd be a good 5-on-5 for Survivor Series. Or they could do Ricochet, Madcap Moss, Drew McIntyre, Pete Dunne, and Sheamus. But Sheamus has a history with Roman Reigns. They could do Sheamus versus the Bloodline's Roman Reigns, Zayn, Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso. 5 Survivor Series men's tag team match. Perfect booking right there, man. When you got and Ricochet, all you gotta do is add Sheamus and Pete Dunne to the team, and you'll have your 5. Or you could just potentially replace Pete Dunne and Shinsuke Nakamura. You got Shinsuke Nakamura on that team. It would still be a perfectly matched team to go up against the Bloodline. Seriously, legitimately, man. Talk about baby faces. So either it's going to be Madcap Moss, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Sheamus versus the Bloodline, or it's going to be Madcap Moss, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Pete Dunne, and Sheamus versus the Bloodline. Because I don't see Rich Holland being added to that team. I just don't. I generally don't. So. What is y'all's take on what Booker T said? About Sasha Banks and Naomi, about the fact that they should have done the jobs instead of walking out. I thought it was terrible. I thought it was a terrible story. Nobody cares about Booker T. Booker T, all I'm saying is, delete your channel while you're ahead, buddy. Your takes and opinions are terrible. And I mean it. There are other people in the community besides me that are saying that to you as well. It's not just me. Other YouTube content creators are legitimately saying that. I'm talking about other wrestling YouTube content creators that produce, stream, and upload wrestling content, reviews, and watch alongs. Those creators. So there's some news on a contract signing officially announced for next week's WWE Monday Night Raw. WWE's Monday Night Raw, man. So Bayley finally returned during WWE SummerSlam alongside Dakota Kai and Io Sky after over a year away due to injury. Time to change music. Okay, my network connection's great. All right. So after a year away due to injury, they are known as Damage Control. And they pretty much have already made their mark in WWE. So ahead of their ladder match for the Raw Women's Championship at Extreme Rules, Bianca Belair and Bayley will meet for a contract signing on Raw this Monday. And the segments comes after Belair saved Shotzi from a beatdown, courtesy of Bayley. The show also featured a face-to-face segment with Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins ahead of their Fight Pit match at Extreme Rules. A no contest clause has been put in place, which means that Riddle and Rollins can't put their hands on the other before Extreme Rules. So we will have to wait and pretty much see how Extreme Rules will actually turn out. We'll see how it also be, and we'll see how it goes from here, going into Extreme Rules. So the card for Monday Night Raw next Monday night happens to be Ariel and Seth Rollins going face to face ahead of Extreme Rules. Rey Mysterio, AJ Styles versus Judgment Day. Braun Strowman versus Chad Gable. Braun Strowman is going to decimate Chad Gable. Chad Gable is going to lose. I don't even think Chad Gable can even lift up Braun Strowman. So then we got Johnny Gargano versus Otis. And Candice LeRae versus Dakota Kai. We got your Karate Kais out there, man. Dakota Kai be laughing at hearing this. So it was a huge match. A very, very, very big match was added for Friday Night SmackDown season premiere. So I got some news on that match being added. So WWE has been going through a lot of changes since Triple H took charge of creative. Due to this, there has been a renewed sense of excitement for fans as well. The October 7th edition of SmackDown has been promoted as the season premiere episode. The show will feature the Clash at the Castle rematch of Gunther versus Sheamus for the Intercontinental Championship. I don't mind seeing Gunther versus Sheamus Intercontinental Championship match number 2. I don't mind seeing it. That's going to be a banger again. Hopefully it's produced and written right. I'm looking forward to watching on my TV screen. Live with my watch along as well. Which I'm going to be scheduling. After, not right after the WWE AEW Saturday News live stream, but a little bit after. Because I got to do thumbnail and background before I can even schedule the SmackDown watch along for next week. Now, the company also recently announced that the Bloodline Solo Sikoa will square off against Ricochet on next Friday's season premiere episode. Roman Reigns and Logan Paul will also have a face-off. So it looks like the card will be Roman Reigns versus, or not Roman Reigns versus, but Roman Reigns and Logan Paul face-to-face. I think you guys get what I'm trying to say here. Sheamus versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship, and then we got Ricochet and Solo Sikoa going one-on-one. So that's what's slated for SmackDown. Two more things might be added to SmackDown, so we might get some more SmackDown news. Going into Monday Night Raw this week, I believe. I don't know. Maybe. We could. Or we could get it Thursday. Thursday I work, so. But I'll keep you guys up to date on the news like I always do now. So. Let you guys know what else is slated for SmackDown whenever the news on it and the updates on it come in next week. What's y'all's thoughts on next week's season premiere? Do you guys think the season premiere is going to deliver, or do you think it's not going to deliver? I think it's going to deliver. I think it's going to be great. You know, Logan Paul's going to get booed because he's a heel. He's acting like a heel. I mean, he should be acting like a babyface. He should be a babyface on SmackDown. And it doesn't look good for Roman Reigns if Logan Paul is a heel and Roman Reigns is a heel. You know, Makes Roman Reigns look like he has to turn babyface and act like a face. You know, kind of doesn't make sense. I don't even think it makes sense to be booking Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns for Crown Jewel. I would have easily, honestly, booked Roman Reigns versus Madcap Moss for the Universal Championship. We have not yet seen Roman Reigns go one-on-one with Madcap Moss. I think that would be a good match. I really do. And I think we also should have got Roman Reigns versus Karrion Kross for Crown Jewel. I think that would have been great too. Given that Drew McIntyre is in that Roman Reigns Karrion Kross storyline. Well, given that Karrion Kross is in the Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre storyline, I think it would make sense for Roman Reigns to defend his title against Karrion Kross for Crown Jewel instead of Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul. Even though they're both heels, which doesn't make sense, I can see why they didn't go for it. I can see why they didn't go for Roman Reigns versus Karrion Kross. It doesn't make sense because they're both heels. Why would you book a heel versus a heel? That's like saying, why would you book a babyface versus babyface? It both don't make sense. So I see why they didn't go with Kross versus Roman Reigns, which is the right decision. I would have went with Roman Reigns. I would have booked Roman Reigns versus Madcap Moss for the Universal Championship for Crown Jewel instead of Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul, in my honest opinion. Or even Roman Reigns versus KO, Kevin Owens. Or even Roman Reigns versus Johnny Gargano, any match. I would have probably Lashley sent right over to Smackdown and have him feud for Roman Reigns before Crown Jewel, man, At least that'll be a match that makes more sense than Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul, I don't know. Something about that match I feel like it's not going to be all that well. Roman Reigns is going to do most of the work in the ring. Logan Paul is just a celebrity. He's not really a wrestler. He's pretending to be a wrestler in the company, really. So, we're moving on to some news on HBK, Shawn Michaels. Finally opening up about NXT and their growth in the past year. I can't believe. And then there's still some geeks in the community that still think Shawn Michaels is in charge. Oh my God, man. People are still thinking that Shawn Michaels is in charge of NXT. No, he's not. Shawn Michaels is in charge of NXT UK. That is the only brand he'll be in charge of going forward. Now, the only person that's in charge of NXT is Paul Levesque. Now, that's me saying that. Some people may say Road Dogg may be in charge. No, Road Dogg's not in charge. Gabby's not in charge. Paul Levesque's in charge of NXT, Raw, and SmackDown. But yet, he's in charge of NXT, yet he hasn't even made a change to NXT yet. So I wonder, when is he going to do that? When? I hope the time now. The time to do it is now. The time to make change to NXT is now, because if they don't, the next year, going into next year, they're not going to have a lot of audience left to watch NXT. Telling you. Mostly, the WWE fans and WWE stains and geeks in the community nowadays are watching Monday Night Raw and SmackDown more than they're watching NXT. So, I mean, I don't blame them. NXT is complete. NXT 2.0 is complete garbage. Half of the talents don't even know how to perform in the ring. Half of the talents can't even cut their promos right. Don't even have the right gimmicks to fit their role, their character. They're not even being, some of them ain't even being built up right. Half of them are just being wasted like jobbers, Can't have stuff like that. You can't have that stuff like that going on in NXT 2.0. That doesn't look good for any of the talent down there. So Paulo Beck needs to change NXT, and he needs to do it quickly. He does. So Shawn Michaels is certainly one of the best in-ring performers to ever grace a WWE ring. He was touted as Mr. WrestleMania, and he truly lived up to the moniker. That's true. Michaels has always exceeded expectations when it comes to performing in a match. Many say that he was so good inside the ring that HBK could have a believable match with a broomstick. Okay, broomstick. I mean, whatever that's supposed to mean. While speaking to San Antonio Express News, tell you, Ringside News is always associating themselves with all these new wrestling sources in the community. Half of them are fake. Some of them are real. Shawn Michaels talked about NXT's growth over the past year. He made it clear that he loves how much it has improved. This is what he says. He says here, and I quote, "It was all very sudden for all of us. I've been with the WWE for 35 years and doing live television for almost 30 of them. When it comes to live television, it is always a learning process because anything can happen. And a lot of things have happened that we had to adjust to, and that is what this was. It was an event where we had to quickly make a lot of changes and get a lot of things accomplished. Getting trained for the fire drill is what working in the WWE is from a live event standpoint. It was a good opportunity for us to come together as a team to learn and grow together. I will say one of the greatest things I had is the phenomenal team that Hunter had put together previously. I have a lot of great people around me. Matt Bloom, Johnny Russo, numerous others. But with everything you learn, to do your best and take it in stride and learn from your mistakes. And we have done that here was a team and done that with the young talent. And then Shawn Michaels goes on to say, Shawn Michaels goes on to say that I think the thing I am most proud of is that we are starting to be on the other side of that, and we are starting to see the hard work paying off, and are very excited for what the future holds for NXT and the WWE as a whole. I'm not going to be excited until we get the Black Gold brand back. Not going to be excited for NXT until we legitimately get the Black and Gold brand back. Now, Shawn Michaels is more than happy working in NXT right now. He was legitimately in charge of NXT UK. I mean, some years ago he was. I didn't think he was working in NXT, but he's in charge of NXT UK. So we'll have to wait and see what's next in store for him. So what's your take on HBK leading NXT? Well now, who would have thought HBK would be running NXT as a whole? Whew, I was scared, guys. I thought I had ended the stream. I was scared for a minute. Woo! That was a quick one, man. Sorry, I think I had a technical difficulty, guys. I don't know what that was. But, I don't know if that was telling me that I need to go to bed or what. I'm not done, though. I still got more news to give out. I still got the topic of discussion to talk about. We still got to talk about Seth Rollins. Well, let's just say I got plenty of more news to give out. Now that I've given out all the other WWE news that you guys need to know. Okay, back to what I was saying about the Shawn Michaels thing. About Shawn Michaels opening up about NXT's growth in the past year. And again, sorry for the technical difficulties, guys. I don't know what that was about. But Shawn Michaels, I did say Shawn Michaels is more than happy working in NXT right now. We'll have to wait and see what's next in store for him. I'm glad Restream was looking out for me on that one because I thought I had ended my stream. I must have mistakenly logged out by mistake. I don't know. I wasn't even looking, man. Or it must have did something by itself. I don't know, man. I didn't even push anything. So what is y'all's take on HBK leading NXT? Seriously, let me know. You can even let me know when the stream ends, because you know people are going to be tuning into this. I made this somewhat good, entertaining, and fun. I'm going to make it even more entertaining and fun because we got some more news to go. And I'm probably going to have some more things to make that's going to make you guys laugh. Now, I want to go over this news that I'm seeing real quick because this is very important. Very important, guys. Michael Cole, there's news on Michael Cole teasing John Cena's return during WWE Smackdown. And then there is some news on WWE locking down new campus store. New campus rush name. No, not store. Ignore the fact that I said store. That's not what I was trying to say. So WWE is consistently reviving its product through the new shoes. No, I'm just kidding. Seriously. It says here that WWE is consistently reviving its product through new shows and more adventure in their recent programming. Could you guys imagine if they were reviving its project through new shoes? Could you imagine somebody saying that? Dude, that would legitimately make them look like complete idiots saying that. Really. But it was a joke, though. But while some shows do fairly well, some others fall short in the program. So it also says here that WWE's Next in Line is a program for new recruits that would be college going and potentially future WWE superstars in the wake of their campaign to target campuses. WWE has filed a new trademark according to recent filings. WWE filed a new trademark in the United States. In the United States Patent and Trademark Office. The title for the trademark is Campus Rush, which speaks about WWE's forthcoming approach. So, it says here, and I quote, Mark for WWE Campus Rush trademark registration is intended to cover the categories of organizing and conducting a program to enhance the use of student athletes' names, images, likeness, organizing and conducting collaborative partnerships with student athletes for brand building, training, development, education, communications, promotion, and community relations service, entertainment services, namely organizing, conducting an array of sports entertainment events rendered live and recorded for the purpose of distribution, organizing, arranging of Habitation, events for sports, entertainment purposes, entertainment services, namely provision of information and pretty much news about sports, entertainment, and general interests rendered live. And it says, and it goes on to say, throughout broadcast media, including television, via the internet or commercial online service providing information in the fields of sports, entertainment, and general interest via an online community portal providing a website in the field of sports, entertainment, and general interest. End quote. So that was the trademark in the United States Patent and Trademark Office. And that was referring to the Campus Rush title as well. So all that I just said is basically spoke about WWE's forthcoming approach. That's according to recent filings. I don't know who the person is with the recent filings, but anyways, it confirms that WWE has their target in mind. They want to capture the youth not just through their programs, but also through their performance and style. The same can happen when recruits are in their early days. So I guess they're saying in their early ages as well. And I think that's what they're also saying. I guess they have to be a younger age to be eligible and have the opportunity to train. Because it says this also confirms that eligible people would get the opportunity to train with the best to get the optimum results. Every quality performer can add value to the promotion and its content. What do you guys think of the WWE NIL program? Seems like the NIL program is starting off to a good start, I guess. I mean, I've never heard of it, but maybe they're doing something right down there. I wonder what athletes they got down there. I wonder if they got some female male athletes with MMA backgrounds. Makes me wonder. I love me some wrestlers, some male-female wrestlers with MMA background. Them some of my favorites right there, man. So they got Michael Cole teasing John Cena's return during Smackdown. So I don't know if you guys knew, but Austin Theory has been getting a pretty good push on Monday Night Raw for the past year now. His antics have been in the throne of many in the WWE universe. Yep, I said it, folks. Many in WWE universe. You guys see me? Okay, maybe you can. Now, a certain WWE Legends Return might be around the corner. It also says here that this past Friday on SmackDown, Theory took on former WWE champion Drew McIntyre in singles action. A distraction from Otis and Chad Gable of the Alpha Academy led to McIntyre winning the match by disqualification. During the match, SmackDown announcer Michael Cole had the following to say about Theory. It involves a legendary finisher. A very, very huge, important legendary finisher. It says here, no doubt Austin Theory is one of most talented we have seen in a while. He could use an attitude adjustment though. Of course, the attitude adjustment is the finishing move of WWE legend John Cena. Michael Cole's tease is an indication that the latest rumors about a possible match between Cena and Theory at WrestleMania 39 are legit. Oh, really? That is not until I hear a word from Fightful from Ringside News that it's legit. I want to know from Ringside News and Fightful whether it's legit or not. I want to know from JD whether it's legit or not. Until then, I don't believe these rumors. Now, possible rub from John Cena on the grandest stage of them all in a match would do wonders for Theory's career. This would be a great wrestle match, though. The current Mr. Money in the Bank has lots of potentials to be a star in WWE at the age of 25. Yes, I was actually going to say that, believe it or not. Man, they just had to steal my line. Had to steal it. Smart as I am, they had to steal my line, man. Come on. That's messed up. Do you guys think Theory and Shayna... I said Shayna. That's funny. Do you think Theory and Cena should have a match at WrestleMania? I think so. It has WrestleMania caliber match written all over it. So I think it should be for WrestleMania. I really do. I think it needs to happen. It really does. That is going to generate viewership and ratings even more if they put that match for WrestleMania. Talking about viewership ratings for WrestleMania 39. Now, we are finished going through the WWE news now. Now it's time to go over your Saturday night AEW news. Even though today is Sunday now. Still. Live streaming isn't finished. That's why I say I'm going over your AEW Saturday night news now. So, there's some news on Saraya. So apparently she got tired of defending herself against the geeks. Sorry, I ain't got a notification on my phone. It didn't even make a noise. Maybe because my notification bell is off. But anyways, Saraya, there's some news on Saraya. She was apparently tired of defending herself against the geeks, the haters, and the dirt sheets in the community. So, and the community I'm referring to is the internet wrestling community. So it says here that Saraya took a shot at WWE after her Dynamite debut, and that did not sit well with the internet wrestling community. Saraya went back and forth with fans until she finally decided to give up. Saraya took to Twitter on Friday and posted a tweet for her haters and critics to see. They probably got her because she probably because she didn't realize Triple H was in charge and head of creative and talent relations. It's probably because she didn't let Triple H bring her back and sign her a contract or sign her a multi-deal with the company. Maybe that's why the fans got at her. I don't know. Maybe because to them she's nothing more than a prick. I don't know. The former WWE female star used an expletive and doubled down that AEW is her house now. She says, and I quote, "You know what? Up it. Think what you want. AEW is my house now." End quote. She defended her decision to rip WWE as well. So, you realize when you say, you're defending to rip not only WWE, but to anger Triple H, right? What if I tell you that Triple H had plans to bring you back and you didn't really know that and didn't really realize that? Makes me wonder, does Saraya know that Triple H is head of talent relations and head of creative? Does she know that Triple H is going to be the future champ coming in 2023? Does she not? Does she know that? Does she even care about the WWE? Does she even care who's running the shows? I mean, I didn't blame her for not caring about Vince and Bruce running the shows. But does she care about Triple H running Monday Night Raw and SmackDown? Does she care about Triple H running the shows? That's my question. Probably not. Some fans will target her no matter what she does and where she goes. So, This story is freaking impetuous and hilarious. Now, there is some news on AEW adding a huge women's tag team match and more to AEW Dynamite this coming Wednesday. So, it says here that Tony Khan is pulling out all the stops to produce a great show with Dynamite next week. The AEW president added multiple matches to the Dynamite anniversary lineup for next Wednesday, which happens to be this Wednesday coming up. It was announced that during Rampage tonight that Tony Storm, Athena, and Willow Nightgown will team up to take on Jamie Hayter, Serena Deeb, and Penelope Ford next week in Washington, D.C. So that's where Dynamite's 6 women's tag team match will be held. That's where it's taking place. Washington, D.C. That's George Washington's hometown right there. Plus, Adam Page will square off against Whoosh in singles action next week on Dynamite. The Hangman helped Dark Order clean the ring during the... You mean clear? Yeah. Clear the ring during main event of Rampage. Sounds to me like this week's Dynamite is going to be great. A great show. Once again. Like it always is. Next week's Dynamite will air for 2 hours and 15 minutes as well. Nah, but to be real, sometimes some of their Dynamite shows can be awful and some of their Dynamite shows can be great. To be real. To be absolutely honest. The show will be followed by a live edition of Rampage this coming Friday, plus Battle of the Belts 4 will take place after Rampage. So I will be live for Friday Night Smackdown, Rampage, and Battle of the Belts 4 this Friday night. And all 3 logos will be in the background together. Will be on top of my webcam screen. So, like my WWE AEW logo is that you guys see on the screen on top. That means I'll be live for all 3 shows. So I'll be live for my Friday Night Smackdown, AEW Rampage, and AEW Battle of the Belts 4 watch-alongs. So they'll all be combined together. So that means all the talent that I'm going to be putting on my thumbnail will be on my background. So, well, some of them will be on my background, and the rest of them all will be... Well, the rest of them all will be on the background, and some of them will be on the thumbnail, put it that way. I'm going to try to make the best, the greatest background thumbnails yet for my SmackDown, AEW Rampage, AEW, and AEW Battle of the Belts 4 watch-along live stream combined. So next week's Dynamite will air for 2 hours, 15 minutes as well. The show will be followed by a live edition of Rampage next Friday, plus Battle of the Belts 4 will take place after Rampage. So, this seems to be the card for Dynamite. We have... Oh, yes it is. Because I just went over. We have 6 women's tag team match. Adam Page versus Whoosh. Wheeler Yuta versus MJF. Darby Allin versus Jay Lethal. Bryan Danielson. And Daniel Garcia versus Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara. Luchasaurus in action. The Acclaimed and Billy Gunn's National Scissoring Day segment. That is all slated for Dynamite starting this week. That's all slated for Dynamite this week, this Wednesday night. If you guys have any questions about this week's episode of Dynamite, please let me know. I'm willing to answer. Now, there is news. There is some major terrible news on AEW actually facing backlash after they stopped airing in Spanish-speaking countries. I wonder if it has to do with the Russian and Ukraine war. Wonder if it has something to do with that. Maybe not. I don't know. That's just my guess. What does it have to do with those Hispanics hacking AEW's YouTube channel, hacking their live streams, their live stream televised episodes of Dark Innovation? I don't know. That's just me guessing. Now the original update, the original news update was Tony Khan pulling out all the stops to produce a great show with Dynamite next week. Ringside News were told on this new update that AEW's television was canceled due to low viewership. Woo! AEW's got to get their game up. They got to get better. They got to do a little better, man. Especially if they want to be number one in cable. Now, Tony Khan is pulling all the stops to produce a great show with Dynamite next week. The AEW president added multiple matches to the Dynamite anniversary lineup for this Wednesday coming up. They were facing backlash after announcing that they will stop airing in Spanish-speaking countries. That is not going to sit well with the Hispanics. A lot of Hispanic AEW wrestling fans are going to be pissed off big time. Especially after what I'm about to go over. As far as this news on AEW facing backlash goes. Now, AEW recently took to Twitter to announce that their content will no longer be available on Space. They thank their fans in Mexico, South America, Central America, and the Caribbean for watching AEW on Space. However, they will only continue to stream content on Space Brazil. Wow. That's probably because a whole bunch of Hispanics have probably been hacking Tony Khan, his YouTube channel, and his freaking live streams of episodes of Dark and Elevation. You know, there are a lot of Hispanics that hack people's accounts, you know, right? I wonder what's the secret to that. I wonder why they do that. I don't know. Do they do that to get information, or do they do that for investment? Money? Maybe that's why. Now I see why they're doing it. So, Twitter account Lucha Blog retweeted the announcement to slam AEW's decision, and he technically highlighted the fact that AEW put their press release only in English to announce they're no longer airing in Spanish-speaking countries. Man, that sounds very, very chilling and sad to hear. Now, having slept on it, I'm still stuck by AEW pulling out a press release only in English to announce they're no longer airing in Spanish-speaking countries. So we'll have to keep Ringside News have to keep us up to date on the backlash AEW faces after this announcement. I'm sure they'll definitely keep me up to date. And I will keep you guys up to date, most importantly. Everybody that subscribes to the channel that's a wrestling fan, that's an AEW WWE fan. Obviously, a lot of people are pretty upset by this announcement, rightfully so. I mean, I don't blame them. I know I would be too. If I was a Hispanic, I'd be upset too. Those fans will be able to access Fight TV without any issues. I really don't blame the Hispanics and the Mexicans being upset about them not being able to watch AEW. That's terrible. That's a terrible thing to have to go over and read to your audience, man. That's a terrible thing to hear, man. The fact that they're not gonna be able to watch AEW, that's fucked up. It's almost like the AEW, it's almost like the Hispanics are complete trash to AEW. That's like it's almost something like that. It's almost like they just don't care. Now, something about that just kind of, is it me or am I the only one that thinking that this is red flag? Am I the only one thinking that this is raising red flags? The fact that they're not actually airing Spanish-speaking countries for fans in Mexico, South America, Central America, and the Caribbeans. Am I the only one that's thinking this is raising some sort of red flags? I think this is kind of raising some red flags. Why would they not be airing Spanish-speaking countries in Mexico, South America, Central America, and the Caribbean to watch AEW on space? Why would they not be doing that? And then on top of that, they didn't even explain why. They just flat out said, AEW facing backlash after they stopped airing in Spanish-speaking countries. They didn't even explain why. I wanted to know why. You gotta be kidding me with this story, man. Anyhow, moving on to the next news, we have news on Malachi Black. We also have some news on AEW reportedly being criticized for non-sensual backstage segments. This does not surprise me. They've been criticized for that before in the past. Only to see them being criticized for that again. Says that the AEW has certainly come forward since its conception in 2019. They have improved in many aspects, but a lot of improvement is still required. So apparently, the company has some of the talkers in the industry. They legitimately have some of the talkers in the industry. However, some of the promos, and interviews have recently drawn criticism from fans. I wonder why. Is it because they have too much of a bloated roster? Or maybe it's because they don't have enough good talent that can get over in segments. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Maybe some talents don't even know how to get over in their own segments. I don't know, man. I'm just guessing. Maybe to some talent, segments are not a thing in AEW. I don't know. I'm just guessing. So speaking on Smack Talk, WWE legend Dutch Mantel criticized the abruptness of a backstage interview between Andrade and Press 10 Vince. So it says here, and I quote, they don't have long enough interviews. Oh, interviews. Oh, so that's why AEW's being criticized. Well, maybe they start doing more interviews then. Start producing more interviews. Maybe they won't be so criticized. Now they don't really describe anything. All of a sudden, he goes on to say Andrade was talking to somebody, and if Press 10 Vince loses, he takes the mask off. And now Andrade would leave AEW forever if he lost. And this is actually referring to the match as well. And I think this match is booked for Rage. Andrade versus Press Vince 10. I kind of see why they're being kind of criticized. But are you serious with this? Why would they put a story like this out? I don't get it. But anyways, I guess we'll have to see, folks, how AEW will improve their backstage segments or not. I doubt it. I mean, given all that talent they got, I doubt it. Given all the producers and writers they got, cameramans they got backstage, man. Man, they got some good cameramans that know how to shoot camera shots, man. Some cameramen are good with camera angles, you know that. Anything is possible, man, in WWE and AEW. So there's back to the news on Malachi. There's some news on Malachi, folks. So apparently there is doubt over Malachi's recent social media rant. Okay. So it says here that Malachi Black was released from WWE back in June last year after a disappointing stunt on the main roster. Yeah, it was more than just disappointing. It was a complete embarrassment, and it was a complete disaster. He was being used. He was being wasted on the main roster like a loser and a jobber. When he debuted in AEW the month after that, thanks to a paperwork mistake on WWE's part, and fans were simply elated to see him there. Oh, I'm sure they were. He was the leader of the House of Black alongside Brother King and Buddy Matthews and Julia Hart, and found some mild success for a while. As previously reported, AEW has given a conditional release to Malachi Black because of his own mental well-being. However, Black then went on a rant on social media and claimed that he was not released from AEW. While speaking on Smackdown, Dutch Mantel spoke about Black's break from professional wrestling. He also expressed doubts over Black's recent social media rant. It says here, and I quote, "Well said. Well, they said he left, his partner left, so you can't listen to anybody till they tell you. And we don't even know what he, Malachi Black, said was true. So we do have to wait and see," end quote. So that is pretty much all Dutch Mantel said. So Malachi Black especially became subject to rumors after WWE reportedly reached out to certain AEW talents. They were actually, they were not just reportedly reaching out to certain talents, they were actually sending feelers to AEW talents as well. If you know what I'm saying. If you know what I mean. It's been reported that he wanted to go back to WWE before his release. And he already told a WWE superstar about wanting to return. So I guess we'll have to see what will become of him in the end. I swear, if he returns to WWE, I may just turn into Ben 10. Literally. Do you guys think FTR are underutilized in the AEW? Let me know. And also, another question, folks. Here's another question. What is y'all's take on the Malachi Black story? You know, the story on doubt over Malachi Black's social media rant. Let me know. Now, there's some more major news. Some more major AEW news that we need to go over. A little bit more. We got one more. As a matter of fact, we got one more. One more. It's the last one. It's the last one, and then we're going to get to the topic of discussion, which the topic of discussion is Seth Rollins and all the news on him that I've gotten from my sources so far. Now, there is some news on AEW changing streaming platforms in Mexico and South Africa. I think we just went over this already because, yeah, I think no. Sounds the same thing. It sounds the same as the one I went over earlier about AEW facing Backlash. It sounds the same. Sounds so similar, but I'm still going to go over it anyway. It says that AEW has certainly gone through tons of changes since its debut back in 2019. Same thing I just said earlier in the stream. Not all of these changes have been received well by fans, but the company is certainly evolving even now. AEW fans have been waiting for news on the company's long-rumored streaming service. Tony Khan has given some hints over the years, but nothing concrete has been worked out. AEW released a statement about how fans in several countries will be able to watch AEW shows. stating that they will change streaming platforms in Mexico and South Africa. It says here, and I quote, to our fans in Mexico, South Africa, Central America, and the Caribbean. Same thing I just went over earlier with the news on AEW facing backlash over them not airing the in Spanish. What was it? What was that shit? The in Spanish, airing in Spanish speaking countries. I just went over that news legitimately on AEW facing backlash after they stopped airing in Spanish speaking countries. Same thing. The same thing I just went over. Except for there was a change ahead. I think that's the only difference about the story here. So it says here, and I quote, to our fans in Mexico, South America, Central America, and the Caribbean, we want to thank you for watching AEW on Space. We hope you've enjoyed the amazing action. However, we have an update to share. They went on to say, as of September 30th, AEW content will no longer be available on Space, with the exception of Brazil. Yeah, just went over that. But it's saying something different here. It's saying that they went on to say that starting October 1st, you can continue watching AEW programming on AEW Plus. AEW Plus will stream all of AEW's weekly shows, including AEW Dynamite, Rampage, AEW Dark Elevation, and Battle of the Belts. Those of you that live in South America, Central America, and Mexico, you guys better be listening. You guys better have been listening to that one, because that refers to you guys. Now, AEW. Now, who's this quote from? This quote was from AEW. That's what AEW said. So, and quote, AEW certainly has a lot of things planned for fans in the coming weeks. So I guess we'll have to see how they will be able to, how they will be, I guess, received by fans, basically. Now, to everybody that lives in South America, Central America, and Mexico, what are y'all's takes on this? Your takes will probably be like, I think AEW needs to go back to doing it. I mean, they did a good job at doing, if I was a Mexican dude and I was living in Mexico and I wouldn't be able to watch AEW, I'd be mad too, man. I'd be mad too. Legitimately. Well, guys, that's all the AEW Saturday Night News I have. We are going to go over the topic of discussion. The topic of discussion is on Seth Rollins and all the news he has received, all the news that I've received on him. So we are going to start at the very bottom. We're going to start at the top. We're going to start at the news on Seth Rollins talking to Vince McMahon about dropping that freaking part of his name. We gotta go over that, man. We legitimately gotta go over that. I may have something to say about that story. I may not. We'll see once I go over it with you guys. Okay. Where is that article? Where is it? I gotta find it. Oh, there it is. So apparently, Seth Rollins talked to Vince McMahon about dropping the freaking part of his name. It says here, 2022 has been an MVP level year for Seth freaking Rollins in WWE. He has been in classic matches with Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and Matt Riddle, and gaining more popularity with fan bases around the world, including me. Now, he has an issue with the nickname in his presentation on WWE television. Heck, I don't blame him. Even JD had an issue with that. He said that on his podcast. He said, I'm not going to call Seth Rollins Seth freaking Rollins. I'm just going to call him Seth Rollins. Makes sense. That's what I call him. That's what I've been calling him all the time. I never called him Seth freaking Rollins. Rollins spoke to Ariel Helwani in a new interview for BT Sport that he spoke to Vince McMahon prior to Vince's retirement. Glad Vince McMahon's retired. Good. His trouble done caught up to him. And rightfully so. About the possibility of dropping his nickname due to announcers. If I was to ever talk to Paul in a negative way, Paul would be like Vince McMahon. He'd be like, "You're fired." About the possibility of dropping his name due to announcers. Over brutalizing the name, basically. So it says here, and I quote, "I'm not sure. As of this interview, I'm not exactly sure." So even before Triple H took over, this was weeks before, I think. Maybe. Months, even. I had gone to Vince specifically because I had watched something back on Raw. And maybe it was like a highlight on Twitter. Highlight on Twitter. Sounds weird. They just said Seth freaking Rollins. It had been a dozen times in 30 seconds because Vince was also really big on not using pronouns. Vince McMahon, that 76-year-old senile, you know what, man. I'm telling you. Oh, so glad he's gone. So essentially, he wanted the whole brand. You know what I mean by gone. Retired from WWE. Not dead gone. Not like that. Not like that, YouTube. He wanted the whole brand. Said every single time I was referenced. And I'm like, you got to stop that. You're going to turn people off. That's not what we want, you know. So he was like, okay, on the commentary, they can refer to you as Seth Rollins. I was like, all right, thank you. So I don't know. He continued, I don't know if freaking is staying or going. Freaking needs to go. It needs to go. It needs to just be Seth Rollins. To where we can call him the visionary Seth Rollins. I would call him the visionary Seth Rollins than the revolutionary. I think visionary sounds better. Visionary Seth Rollins. Sounds better than Seth freaking Rollins, I'll tell you that. Seth Rollins has had many, many names. This is what he says. He went on to say, I've had many, many names, and it's all fine with me. It's different. No one's really working with a strong middle name right now. There aren't any Bret the Hitman Harts, you know. End quote. So, I don't think Rollins is a nickname. Fans are going to continue to chant freaking Rollins and sing his theme song. Which is known. Sorry. I think Seth should be Seth Rollins and not Seth freaking Rollins. Seth freaking Rollins would be in his babyface run. His babyface gimmick. His babyface gimmick is Seth freaking Rollins. His heels name should not be Seth freaking Rollins. It should be Seth Rollins. If he was a babyface, he was Seth freaking Rollins. Yeah, I understand. Heel? No. But I don't think he should still be called Seth freaking Rollins. He should be called Seth Rollins. How do I feel about it? Now, we're going to move on to this news, to this other news on Seth Rollins. So, you want to talk about topic discussion of Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins has the greatest character. He has one of the greatest character gimmicks in all WWE. Greatest at what he does. The greatest at cutting promos. He's the greatest at backstage interviews, segments. He's good. He's good at almost everything. Everything you can name him. Even his in-ring skills are great. Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt faced each other in a 2019 Hell in a Cell match. So fans had pretty much a lot of expectations from the match. But it was all for nothing in the end. Rollins had also mentioned how the finish of the match was not his call. I can take a guess on whose call that was. Bruce Pritchard. Bruce! That slaw Bruce, man. Oh my goodness. And he is still in WWE. When is he going to ever get fired? When is Paul Levesque going to fire this guy, man? When is Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon going to fire Bruce? I think now is the time to do so. Now's the time to get rid of Karen Darwin. Dude. You know, that beaver. The guy with the beaver teeth. You know. The guy to be taking camera pictures of Finn Balor's, you know what? The match remains one of the most hated matches in recent memory, as the ending simply made no sense whatsoever. A Hell in a Cell match ending in disqualification simply baffled fans. However, both of them were genuinely top stars in, I was going to say pop stars, because that's what Young NBA said in his DC Marvel song on one of his mixtapes. But both of them were generally top stars in WWE for a long time. While speaking to Ariel Helwani of BT Sport, Seth Rollins stated that the controversial ending was not his call at all. Man, when I'm thinking it's not his call at all, I just want to grab a basketball and just ball and shoot some threes or some twos, man. I don't know what the heck I'm saying. But anyways, it says here, and I quote, I could have moved on to something else, and he could have had his run as champion. But that wasn't the case, and we played the hand. We dealt, and that was not our call. And that's also not my ball. That's not my ball, Jimmy. That's not my ball. That's that little boy's ball. The heck you talking about, man? Give me a break. Give me a break with your stupidity whining. Anyway. Had to calm little Jimmy over there down. I know he would tell you something. I know he would tell you the same thing. And then Seth Rollins went on to say, that did not go the way he wanted to. That did not go the way we wanted to. We tried, and we tried, and we tried. And then Seth Rollins went on to say the boss at the time would not budge. Like I said before, it is not our sandbag. You know, we are actors on a stage sometimes. And we read the lines. Spine Buster the Pine! Woo! By press 10. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what all Seth Rollins said. Not the Spine Buster the Pine part, but that's what all Seth Rollins said, and quote, everything I just read to y'all is what basically Seth Rollins said when he spoke to Ariel Helwani of BT Sports. BT Sports is part of WWE. You guys know what BT Sports is. I ain't gonna tell you. I know what it is. I ain't gonna tell you though. So I have to wait and see if Wyatt will ever square off against Seth Rollins in the future. If you guys want to know BT Sport is, why don't you go to WWE Peacock and find out for yourself? Jeez, man. What else take on this story? Let me know. I don't have nothing to say. All I can say is that finish was not good. That finish in that Hell in a Cell match wasn't good. And the call was not his call. It was Bruce Pritchard's call. It was Vince's call. They were the ones that made that decision. They were still in charge at that time. Bray Wyatt was buried. was buried right when he had that. As soon as he had that Fiend character, as soon as he began that Fiend character, Bray Wyatt was already buried and wasted on television. And that is sad. That was so sad to see. Bray Wyatt was probably upset. He was sad. He probably had a freaking frustratingly angry, overrated, furious look on his face. I know he had to. I don't blame him. I know I'd be mad too if I was misused and wasted on TV and being kept in Titus K ring for so long, man. Yeah, that finish was not a good finish for Seth Rollins, man. That was Bruce and Vince's decision right there, which I thought was complete BS. It wasn't right. It wasn't right for Vince and Bruce to be making that call on that Hell in a Cell match finish, man. That was awful. Absolutely awful. It's not Seth Rollins' fault. It's Vince and Bruce's fault. So, going on to some other news on Seth Rollins. So, Seth Rollins was speaking to Ariel Helwani again, only this time about the Hell in a Cell match with Cody Rhodes. And the fact that his match with Cody Rhodes helped his reputation. If the Bray Wyatt, if Triple H was still in charge, if Triple H would have been in charge at the time that the Fiend was being wasted and buried, the Fiend would be used right on TV. And they would have legitimately had the right Hell in a Cell finish if Triple H was producing Hell in a Cell. If he was in charge of the company at the time when Vince and Bruce was in charge. If Triple H would have been in charge at that time of that Hell in a Cell match, I think that the terrible finish would have never happened. I think we would have got a better finish. Triple H was taking over WWE. I'm talking about at the time when Seth Rollins had his match with The Fiend. And then the go-home show going into Hell in a Cell. If he was in charge for those shows, man, Bray Wyatt would have never been wasted and buried. But I think The Fiend should come back. I don't think the Year of World should come back. I think The Fiend should come back so that way The Fiend can get rightfully used on TV. And he could start maybe getting championship matches. Maybe he could start getting people over. He could start helping other talent get over, you know. I think if he goes back to the Year of Worlds, I think he would do the same thing. He would legitimately do the same thing with his Year of Worlds character. But I think he should go with his Fiend character first and then go to the Year of Worlds. Then that's when he could start getting other talent over, you know, helping other talent establish themselves on the main roster. Talking about talent from NXT. Bray Wyatt should be used to help other talent, not used to win championships, in my honest opinion. Seriously. No shit. I'm not making that shit up at all. But Seth Rollins has accomplished a lot during his time in WWE, and his stock continues to rise even now. Rollins performs any role he is given to perfection, and that is exactly true for his current gimmick. Gimmick is great. Absolutely great. Seth Rollins is doing the greatest work of his career. Not the best work, not the coolest work, but the greatest work of his career. Seth Rollins also credited Cody Rhodes in a huge way recently. Cody Rhodes came back during WrestleMania 38 and engaged in a trilogy of solid matches with Seth Rollins. He has been absent from Hell in a Cell due to a torn pectoral injury. That sounds deadly. Also sounds disgusting too. While speaking with Ariel Helwani of BT Sports again, Seth Rollins only this time, he noted that he had a reputation for injuring people in matches. However, his match with Rose certainly helped his reputation a lot. It says here, and I quote, "It really went a long way in repairing my reputation," said Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins then went on to say, "I had gotten so much flack online for some injuries that had happened in matches that I was in, and whether they were caused by me, directly or indirectly, is a whole different can of worms. I think people were like, oh, maybe he does know how to take care of people in the ring. Yeah, duh, but yeah, I think it was more visually jarring than anything." End quote. Woo! Cody Rhodes hinted at making his return during the Royal Rumble match next year. Now, definite time frame has been given for his return to the ring, so I guess we'll have to wait and see whether he does return during the event. I'll be checking back with my sources, Ringside News, for consistent updates, guys. I'll be checking on their websites for updates on this. I'll let you guys know when I do get it. Okay. Moving on to the third news on Seth Rollins. So, Seth Rollins says he would like to work with Bray Wyatt again. Remember, they squared off against each other in the 2019 Hell in a Cell match, as I mentioned. I could have sworn I mentioned that. No, actually, I did. I'm going to say that. Fans had a lot of expectations from the match. It was all for nothing in the end. It was a terrible finish in the end. One of the worst finishes I have ever seen. It's not Seth Rollins' fault. It's Vince again. Once again, it's Vince and Bruce's fault. Bruce and Vince were still running WWE when this Hell in a Cell match took place. They were still in charge. Well, especially Vince, but Vince was the main one in charge. But the match remains one of the most hated matches in the last decade, all because of Vince and the creative team and their political, terrible agendas, as it simply made no sense. Now, in fact, fans felt their intelligence was insulted due. You darn right it was. I watched the match. I know how terrible the ending was, man. I watched it from experience. As a young, upcoming YouTube content creator, trust me. It was terrible. Not even was terrible. It was as terrible as burning somebody's eyes out. That's how terrible that ending to that match was. That finish. That was a terrible fuck finish, man. While speaking to Ariel Helwani of BT Sports again, man, Seth Rollins must have had 2 hours of an interview. He must have had a 2-hour interview with Ariel Helwani or something, because every time I go over more news on Seth Rollins, it mentions, it says Ariel Helwani every time. Ariel Helwani, the Ariel Helwani name comes to mind every time. Every time I've been viewing news on Seth Rollins. So Seth Rollins made it clear that he is more than open to working with Bray Wyatt again in the future. Now, I did say that in the description that Seth Rollins made it clear that he is more than open to working with Bray Wyatt again in the future. But in the description, my question was that I questioned this, and I questioned it like, well, Will Triple H and his creative team ever come up with a Wyatt Seth Rollins storyline idea? Will Seth Rollins align himself with the Fiend, or will they just simply have an actual one-on-one match down the line to generate interest or to boost up viewership and ratings? You know? And ratings for the show, for the WWE shows or the pay-per-views. That desperately needs more views. I questioned all this. I legitimately questioned all this, man. I simply said, will Seth Rollins align himself with the Fiend, or will they just simply have an actual one-on-one match down the line to generate interest or to boost up viewership and ratings for WWE shows or live pay-per-views that desperately needs more views? I questioned this. I said it in the description. I felt like I said it right. Somebody unsubscribed. Oh well, it is what it is. I'm not gonna get mad. At least I got people that subscribe to the channel that actually cares about my channel, that actually knows more about my channel, people that actually care about the content that I produce, upload, and stream. I'm trying what I can, man. Believe it or not. It's not my fault that people are unsubscribed to my channel. It's not the things I'm saying. Clearly, they just are not interested. They think my channel is boring. Clearly, it's not. Clearly, I've made it into something more improved. I made it into something better. I made my channel into something positive and not negative. My channel is supposed to be positive and not negative. I'm trying to make it positive. I want my channel to be positive. I don't want my channel to be looked at as a negative channel. I want it to be looked at as a positive channel. I don't want people looking at my channel and say, oh man, he's saying all this stuff. He's talking about somebody, saying really strong cuss words, inappropriate words, and saying this, saying that. I don't want to bite my channel and be like, oh, I'm leaving this guy's channel. I mean, it's terrible. I don't like the way he talks. I don't want people to look at my channel and say all those things, man. I want people to look at my channel and say, hey, he's legit. He knows more than what he's saying. He may not be a podcaster, but he's definitely good at streaming and producing his reviews, his wrestling reviews, and wrestling watch-alongs. I want people to look at my channel in a positive way and be like, hey, IWN is doing some great things on his channel. He's doing a great job. He's doing a great job. Hopefully, he gets even more better going forward with the channel. Sorry, I seen something on my screen. Well, it was. I want people to look at my channel and be like, hey, IWN's improving. He's getting better and better. If he starts streaming more games, if he starts uploading more videos, and if he keeps going live with more reviews and more pay-per-view watch-alongs, more AEW pay-per-view watch-alongs, he's going to get more views. The more he streams and produces views and watch-alongs, the more views, the more subscribers he gets, the more likes he'll get. People will look at my channel in a positive way and be like, he has to make sure he speaks good, sound good, and really know what you're saying, and make sure you're making sense on what you're saying. Some things I say don't make sense. Most things I say do. I'm being honest. I want people to be able to look at my channel and say, hey, IWN, I love your channel, man. You make me invest my time in watching your content. Your content's great. Your content's awesome. Your thumbnails and backgrounds are always great. You always do a good job. Always make sure your channel stands out. You always make sure people get what they want out of the channel. And you're a nice person. And you are actually someone that actually cares about wrestling. You're actually someone that actually cares about what us YouTube fans, YouTube followers, YouTube content creators want. I want people to look at me as one of the best YouTube content creators ever that's ever stepped foot on a YouTube channel. You know, I don't want people to look at me and be like, IWN is ugly. IWN is a butthole. He can't produce content. He always produces terrible garbage content on the channel. I don't want people to be saying that about me. I want people to say positive things about me and not negative things. That's the point I'm trying to make. Because I really do generally care about what everybody wants to see on my channel. I really do. And some of y'all are starting to see that, and I really appreciate it. Continue to see that. And continue to have other people seeing that and realizing that. Because if there's other people out there that's not realizing that, then something's wrong. There's an issue there. Legitimately. So, Seth Rollins must have had a 2-hour, 3-hour interview with Ariel Helwani or something. Because every time I go over a news article on Seth Rollins, it's always Ariel Helwani's name being mentioned. Well, he did make it clear that he's more than open to working with Bray Wyatt in the future. So this is what he said. He said, I would love to have another crack at working with Wyndham Rotunda, Bray Wyatt. He's an incredible talent, just a mind for the industry and for stories and for characters that is very unique. And then he goes on to say there is not a lot of people in our business, past, present, or future, that think about things on the level that he does. End quote. So fans would love to see them duke it out in a proper match this time around, and which they will. It will happen. I think it'll happen now that Triple H is in charge. Now he's head of creative talent relations. All right, guys. Last news I have for today is on Seth Rollins again, but this time, this is an interesting one. He finally opens up about a WWE fan attacking him during Monday Night Raw last year. This is the interesting one. This is the one you guys need to tune into right here. So it says here, the life of a professional wrestler is not without its fair share of drawbacks. This includes crazy fans who jump the barricades and either tried to interact with the wrestlers or attack them. It turned out that Rollins' attacker was still upset over getting catfished last year. Or getting catfished years ago. Last year on WWE Raw, a fan attacked Seth Rollins and pretty much caused a huge stir. Seth Rollins was utterly blindsided, which is why he couldn't react to the situation as quick as he have wanted to. Poor Seth Rollins. What a freaking complete idiot that freaking wrestling fan is. What a complete geek he is, man. Seth Rollins later on admitted that he found the whole experience terrifying, as he should. Why would a fan jump out like that and go on a rant to attack Seth Rollins, man? Come on. That's not cool. He added that he was okay while speaking with Ariel Helwani of BT Sports. Again, Seth Rollins revealed that everything happened all of a sudden. He says, and I quote, "It was so fast, I didn't really have any time to process it. The only thought I remember having is when he was on top of me, and they were already pulling him away. But he had like a handful of my hair, and I was just trying to punt him off me with whatever foot I had underneath. My instinct was to grab his head immediately, just to control his head. I don't have any jiu-jitsu training at all. So whatever I did, anything right or wrong, is completely instinctive." But yeah, my instinct was just as soon as I know that someone was upon me, just to control his head best I can. I was just thankful that security was there. I was thankful that he wasn't armed in any way. That could have gone very badly. And then in the aftermath, I just felt bad for him when I saw online what his situation was, and that he had probably been catfished out of some money and his mental capacity wasn't great. I just feel bad. I felt bad that there wasn't anybody in his life that could help him out. It was an unfortunate situation that I think was handled as best as it could all the way around, end quote. We sincerely hope, I sincerely hope, Ringside News saying they sincerely hope too, but I sincerely hope, honestly guys, I really do sincerely hope that such an indication never happens again to any pro wrestler. That was meaningless, that was spineless, and that what that fan did made himself look like a complete embarrassment, and it made him look like a complete coward doing that. What a selfish human being that WWE fan is for doing that to Seth Rollins, for getting that Seth Rollins in the crowd. I hope he got the help he needed. And I hope that fan continues to get the help he needs. Mentally, physically, and emotionally. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for your AEW Sunday Night News. Thank you for joining me. If you guys enjoyed it, if you guys enjoyed listening to me give you the AEW Sunday Night News, hit that thumbs up. Let's get a lot of likes. Minimum. I'm actually getting the heck out of here now because it is actually 1 something morning. I just realized that. Wow, this time goes by fast, really fast. And someone had unsubscribed to my channel. I don't care. Let them. It's okay. They don't like what I do. They're not. It goes to show you when somebody's unsubscribed to your channel, they're just impatient. They're just a bunch of impatient idiots. That's what they are. So don't worry about them. Let them go. Let them unsubscribe, man. And then when my content gets even more better, then when my content becomes the greatest content on the channel, then they'll want to resubscribe and be like, "Oh, you brought some new content on the channel. Oh, look, you got a new background, new thumbnail. Oh, you got a new set. You got OTS or OBS now. Wow. I may have to resubscribe now." And then they're going to be like, "You don't have that trash content anymore. This content ain't trash. This content you're watching ain't trash. This content you're watching is legit, it's real, and it's the best you could ever watch." Especially when it comes to background detail and work. I put work into I put work into doing my background. And I think I did a hell of a good job with it. Anyway, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Thank you guys for watching your WWE AEW Saturday Night News live stream. I'm getting the heck out of here. I hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. I'll see you guys in the live chat. I'll see you guys in the live chat for your WWE AEW Sunday Night News that I'll be giving out coming into this week. So, your WWE AEW Sunday Night News live stream will be live tonight. So, be there, folks. There will be some good news coming into the new week. I always love, that's another thing about this channel. Not only do I love to go live with my watch-alongs, not only do I love going live with my Dynamite, Smackdown, and Dynamite Smackdown Rampage reviews. Not only do I like going live with my Dark Elevation, Dynamite Smackdown, and WWE AEW pay-per-view watch-alongs, but I also love legitimately, and this is legit, and I'm being serious about this. I actually love streaming games as well. And I hope tomorrow I can do that before my WWE AEW Sunday Night News live stream. If I'm live streaming a game, if I'm live streaming a new game, you'll know. You'll know. Because it'll be live on my IWN YouTube channel. Yeah. And I love playing overall music in the background. Like, I love scheduling my watch-alongs and live streams. I love to schedule them early, so they'll be done. Survivor Series is going to be scheduled early this week. It's in November, but it'll still be scheduled. Because I got an idea of what the card's going to look like. So, because I just explained to you guys the card for the 5-on-5 men's and women's War Games tag team match for Survivor Series. I said that it's either going to be Madcap Moss, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Pete Dunne, and Sheamus versus the Bloodlines, Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, Jimmy and Jey Uso, and Sami Zayn, or it's going to be Madcap Moss, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and Shinsuke Nakamura versus Bloodlines, Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, Jimmy, Jey Uso, and Sami Zayn. Then for the women's 5-on-5 War Games tag team match, I think it's going to be Sasha Banks, Naomi, Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai of Damage Control versus, either it's going to be that or it's going to be them versus, here's what I'm trying to say, folks. It's either going to be Bayley, Io Sky, Dakota Kai, or the team of Sasha Banks and Naomi versus Raquel, Enriquez, Shotzi Blackheart, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, and Bianca Belair, or it could just be Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai, Gigi Dolan, and JC Jane versus Raquel Rodriguez, Shotzi Blackheart, Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss. So it could just be one of the two. That's what the card's going to look like so far, and then they're going to add more matches to Survivor Series. There won't be, NXT will not be added to this year's Survivor Series. I don't know why. I think it would have been cool to add NXT to this year's Survivor Series, because possible, you could see possibilities are endless. Possibilities are endless if you would add NXT to the Survivor Series pay-per-view. So where we can get SmackDown versus Raw versus NXT, but I think it makes sense to get Raw versus SmackDown this year. I think it does. But all that I just said, I think it's the overall card so far. I don't think any other match has been added. I think that's what's going to be the card, in my honest opinion. If there's any other if there's matches being announced for Survivors, I will let you guys know. I will give you guys up to date. I'll give you guys news on that. So, anyways, I'm getting out of here. My mouth ain't tired. I just don't have nothing else to say. Like I said, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Hit that thumbs up. Let's get a lot of likes on the stream. And speaking of subscribers, I am on the road to 500. I currently have 443. I did have 444, but somebody unsubscribed for some unknown reason. I don't know why. But subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and share this WWE and AEW Saturday News live stream with your friends and family. Share it to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Share it to any social media platform that you can share it to, and let everybody know that, hey, IWN's got good content on this channel. His channel is worth subscribing to. You would love what he has over there. So, thank you guys for joining me for your WWE and AEW Sunday Night News live stream. I'm getting out of here. Like I said, I'll see you guys in the live chat for your WWE AEW Sunday Night News. Peace. And remember to watch your surroundings when you're walking places. And always, you know what I always say before the stream, when the stream ends. Stay safe, always. I'll see you guys in the live chat for WWE AEW Sunday Night News. Peace. Have a great rest of y'all's Sunday afternoon. See you guys Sunday night.